Welcome back, everybody, to the OMG It's Derek podcast. I'm your one and only co-host, Codations, and as always, I got my sexy, bald-headed host, OMG It's Derek. What's going on, baby?
I didn't shave my head today, so it's not quite as sexy bald as it normally is. It's got a little bit of prickly on it. You can see, if you probably look real closely at the screen right now, anybody watching this, you probably see a little bit of like black fuzz, brownish black fuzz. You know, it is what it is. It gets difficult to shave your head every fucking day. Sometimes you're just like,
do you use a straight razor or no?
Yeah,
you do use a straight razor.
What,
like a razor blade, like an actual like razor.
I used to. I don't anymore. So okay. I switched to just the
electric
because it was no. Electric shavers suck.
Yeah. So what are you shaving with then?
A Gillette 5-blade.
Yeah. So it's still blade razor. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
But I thought you were talking about like I used to use the actual single blade.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the old school shit, lather it all up. And
It's actually that's like the best way, honestly. Like it's legitimately the best way to do it. Like if you want like the closest shave, it just takes so fucking long. So now I just use the Gillette and I'm just done.
Interesting. Do you do shaving cream or no?
I used to, but not anymore. I just with the 5-blade. I don't have to.
Well, the reason why I asked that is this is completely off topic, but the reason why I asked that is because
off topic. We haven't even announced what our topic is yet. So how do you know it's
true?
Off topic?
That's true. It could be.
We're talking about shaving bald heads today on the OMG
Let's go
Derek podcast.
Shaving balls. I mean heads. So what I was saying is,
I do use shaving cream down there.
So my wife, the reason why I asked if you use shaving cream is because my wife does not use shaving cream. Isn't that crazy? For her legs and everything. No, her legs and everything. Does not use shaving cream.
My wife doesn't either, but that's because I think like for example, the razor blades my wife buys, they got shea butter. Like they got already something built around.
Yeah, like built on the thing. Yeah, but wouldn't you think? But listen, but like when I was younger, in like high school and you would shave your face, right? Like there was a lot of times where like, I would use whatever I had and my mom had extra razors with that butter stuff, like in the drawer. So I would just grab one of those and I tried using it. I still felt like I needed shaving cream. Like it still felt like it would pull, on the hair. And maybe it's just because it's a different type of hair on my face versus like her legs. I don't know. I just know that I don't know. I've tried a bunch of different ones and, obviously I bought like a bunch of like the dollar, razor, packs, and stuff too. And they were all shit, the 1-blade ones. But like, I just like feel like,
I don't know. Casually feeling my leg hair here while you're talking.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely different than like,
it's not as coarse. It's not as
definitely
coarse.
Not so yeah, maybe it's different. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. That's why I was curious. I didn't know if you used, when you did shave your head with shaving, like, did you use shaving cream or not? Like, did you have a razor that, similar to like,
if I shave my head every day, I do not. If I go if I go more than one day without shaving, so like if I go one day without shaving, the next day I shave, no shaving cream. If I go more than one day, so 2 days or more without shaving, then I use shaving cream because I pretty much have to, because then I get that same thing you're saying where like it's pulling my hair, it fucking hurts.
Yep. And then the last question I have about this, awesome topic here on shaving cream and shaving and razor blades. Did you ever like break out at all, like on your head from actually like either like razor bumps or anything like that, or like shaving your head?
Nope. No. I don't really get them on my face though either, razor bumps or anything.
I haven't shaved in a long time, I guess, but like actually with a with a razor blade. I mean, I trim with like a trimmer now, but like, I don't know, man. I remember like anytime that I was trying to shave my face, it would always end up with like a, itchy razor bumpy kind of thing. And maybe I was just using shit razors. I don't know. I guess that was years ago. I'm talking pre 2011, probably the last time I actually used a blade to shave my face.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It just sounds like you got shitty skin.
Fuck. I need a dermatologist in my life. Hey, listen,
I'm just kidding. Lots of people get razor bumps. I will say I use sensitive shaving cream on my face.
Okay,
like
so
the kind made so that might make it so that it doesn't.
Yeah, see, I never used that
sensitive skin Gillette shaving cream.
Yeah, see, I never used that. When I was shaving my face was again when I was probably buying the dollar shave packages from like Dollar Tree or Dollar General, and I was using like Barbasol. shaking up some Barbasol, smacking the shit on your face. That's
immediately my mind went to Jurassic Park when the dude had the Barbasol can that he was trying to smuggle out the embryos.
So he's like, yeah. Just
that was Barbasol and then put shaving cream. The can, I believe.
I didn't realize that was. I don't know. It probably did. It have stripes on the can in a circular motion? Then it would be Barbasol. That's their signature, man. That's the signature can. It's kind of like that one men's cologne.
Spit on by that little demon spawn dinosaur with the acid.
Yeah, of course they did. But it's like that old man's cologne that every grandpa owns. What is it, Brute? That green fucking nasty bottle, Brute. I
used to have that all the time.
Dude, they fucking and then fucking put it all over their fucking neck and head and everything. Anytime they fucking walk by, you could smell them, dude. It smells like they were in church, fucking all week long. And it's like,
I mean, in the defense of older guys, the younger guys with the axe is no better.
Oh no, I am 100% with you. Dude, like, everything. And you know what's even worse? What's even worse is if you get one of the younger kids that smokes weed, because then it's like the entire can of Axe every single time. And sometimes it's like 3 flavors of Axe, like 3 fucking cans. It's just like, dude, oh my gosh. Like, you get that, like that hint of weed
like
smell.
Weed, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. At that point, it's like, dude, just smell like fucking, like, we know you smell like weed. Like, just fucking stop the Axe. The Axe is not masking it. It's making it worse, dude.
What cologne do you use, by the way? Do you use cologne at all?
Yes, I do. And you know what's hilarious? So my favorite cologne ever
Brute
is no, my favorite cologne ever. I wish, right? It'd be 10 times cheaper. My favorite cologne ever is actually Jake by Hollister.
Jake by Hollister. Okay.
It's very, very, like, I just love the smell, right? Really, really love the smell. But it's like $68 for a fucking small little bottle, which is super expensive. I haven't really used a whole lot of cologne or like high-end colognes, right? Buy colognes. So what I actually buy instead is a way cheaper option than that. I spend $9.99 on my cologne, and I buy Rue 21. And it's the guy's default black one. It's the one that they've had originally. I spend $9 for it. Super, super cheap. And like I said, and I just buy it. But to be honest with you, I don't wear cologne a lot. I literally just, I wear my, I have a, body wash. Yes, of course I go to Bath and Body Works with my wife, I'm super like, high class with that. So like, I just buy, I have that body wash, So I use that, my shampoo, and everything. So between those two things and then my deodorant, I'm pretty good. I don't really, And I'm in office, I sit at a fucking desk all day. So I'm not really, I'm not really sweating, to perspirate a lot of, body odor for the most part. So I don't know. I don't really use it.
I use it's $1 Million Man, and then I use that in the like summer time, spring, summer.
So you actually swap up your scents. Ooh, listen to you. Interesting.
Yeah. And then fall and winter, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. But they're both like $60 to $80 colognes. Yep. But the thing with those, I know, because people listening, you might not be cologne aficionados like myself.
Cologne connoisseurs.
But the thing about it is like with the $1 Million Man, like you're right, it's like 60 for a bottle, but like one spray you're good all day. Like literally one you're good all day with it. But with the other kind.
But how could you not be? People just carrying cologne in their pocket?
Well, I mean, you don't need to like do another spray later, and then like it just lasts all day.
But when the fuck you got when
you get home from work and you're like, oh, let me. Wait, actually, I know lots of people that carry cologne, like have one in their car or something. Or
no,
leave a comment in the chat if you keep cologne in your car, or like or at your work desk or something.
Nah, dude.
Listen, I've worked in a lot of sales and with a lot of salespeople. They always have clothes.
Okay, see, that's different though. But that's different though. That makes sense to me because they work with the public constantly.
You're a dirty artist.
They work with the public constantly. That makes sense. But think about a person that's like a fucking person who works at the grocery store. Like, I'm guaranteeing you, they ain't got no fucking cologne that they're just like in the between bagging groceries. The guy's like squirting more cologne.
That's because they're poor and their options is Brute or Axe, and they're smart enough to know they shouldn't do that shit, unlike these damn ass old people or these damn ass teenagers.
Or they don't, and they've already doused themselves with Axe enough to last till like 5 washes in the wash machine.
And just FYI for all you people out there in the comments right now, you called them poor. It was a joke. Kinda.
It's not a joke.
I mean, they're probably not going out buying, like if you're working at a grocery store, they're probably not going out buying $60, $80 bottles of cologne.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, if they're working at a grocery store, they're living under,
and if they are, they're stupid.
Listen, under the poverty line according to what qualifies as poverty in the United States of America. If they're working at a grocery store, they do not qualify unless you're a manager of the store and you're fucking dipping into some high dollars. Nah, you're not making enough. So technically, yes. You are not considered middle class. You are considered low end class.
Yeah, and if you are buying that shit, you're dumb.
Right, exactly.
You should learn how to manage your money.
Exactly. Or we're dumb for manage our money to the point where we are now because we might be missing out on, all the shit that apparently they are burning their money on. I guess I don't know.
No, I'm good.
He's like, yeah, nope. I'm 100% fine with where that and what I got. Fuck them. No,
all right. With that said, we'll quit making fun of the poor people in the world. I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. With that said, though, so what is the plan for the topic tonight, Mr. Codation?
I think we're going to
go discuss.
I don't know, man. I think we're going to go all over the place.
We are. I
think we've done it's been a hot minute since we've done a podcast episode. So I think
especially by ourselves, we've had a lot of cool guests on the podcast, recently. We've gotten some, I don't know how we get these motherfuckers to come on, but somehow we do. And it works.
Dude, it's the power of the podcast. That's what it is. Listen, anybody out there that's listening, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to interview anybody, doesn't fucking matter who they are. Now I can't attest for celebrities. They probably won't get your message.
Well, Obama's coming on next week.
Listen, he's not joking. He's being for real. Obama, we need you in here.
He follows me on Twitter.
This is distraction. Can you please?
Is she flashing you?
Yes, actually, though, there is no joke. She's showing them right now to me in the face. Get out of here! Shut the door.
I knew it. I could tell by the eyes,
listen,
man.
I can't even look. I can't even look. But
no,
yeah, man,
but he does follow me on Twitter,
which is awesome, by the way. Trust me. One day, all you got to listen. Have you sent him a DM yet? Realistically, you got to send him a DM. I sent one to
Casey Neistat. He never responded, bitch.
Yeah, fuck that guy, dude. Listen, he makes all that YouTube money. He doesn't need to get on a podcast.
Moves to LA.
No, realistically speaking, though, anybody out there, no joke, there is a power to the fucking word podcast. For whatever reason, you mentioned podcast to most, people or upcoming people or artists or anything. And for whatever reason, they just, I don't know, they're just compelled to be like, sure, fuck it, I'll go on there and talk for a little while. I don't know if maybe if it's like a
I think it's the same thing why people masturbate.
Why?
Well, it strokes your own ego. It pleasures yourself.
On tonight's episode of our open mic night, we've got OMG, it's Derek here with the fucking jokes. Oh, geez. No, I mean,
I'm being for real though, in a sense. I mean, like people like to fucking feel important. Like they like to feel like, I get to talk about myself for an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah,
or my shit that I'm doing, or whatever.
I would agree with that. And not only that, it's probably a boost of confidence too, because it probably, like you said, they feel important enough that somebody approached them, right, to be on a show or be on a pod, for some sort of interview. And because of that, like you said, yeah, it is probably a stroke of ego because it probably gives them that feeling of like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm important. I'll just, I'll go on there. I don't care. Yeah, and then that, it could be potentially used for PR later on. It could be used for content later on, for the.
Yeah, and I've always said that too. I mean, that's the truth too. I mean, all joking aside, I do think that's also one of the big reasons is even if it's an unknown person doing the podcast, it's always hard to talk about shit when it's just you trying to talk about your shit. Right. It's always easier when you have someone asking you questions about your shit and you're responding. So it just makes for good shit that you can clip up and cut later and use for your own shit. For your, for whatever. So yeah, I agree 100%. So I think though, the plan, I know you said all over tonight, and obviously as you guys can tell, we are going all over tonight, but I do know we have a couple of things we want to touch on. As Cody was saying, it has been a while since we've, done ourselves like a podcast with just the two of us. I know we want to talk a little bit about NFTs. We can't help ourselves.
Dude,
mainly I want to talk about how
general.
bored I am of NFTs, though, to be honest, all of a sudden.
Yep.
Like we were hardcore getting into them, and now like I haven't even opened MetaMask in a week. Like I'm not even kidding, dude. I haven't.
Do you know what's funny though? Speaking of that, do you know today, like I realized that it's been days, like in probably over a week. Like I have not checked into any of the Discords that I've got an NFT, in NFT for that I was normally at least like active in once a day. You know what I mean? Like I haven't checked in my OpenSea in a long time, like nothing. And then today was like the very first time when I got a notification that I sold that NFT that I had posted on Blancos, and I got that notification that the Blancos thing sold, and then it like kicked in, and I'm like, oh shit, wait a second, like what? Did I go back to it, look at it, and I'm like, oh, that's $520. I'm like, oh shit, okay. I'm like, okay, so it's sitting here, and then it dawns me, and I'm like, what's my OpenSea like? Did I get any like weird airdrops from like old fucking, tweets that I did? Like I go there and I click there and I'm like, oh shit, no. But then I'm like, then I got kind of wrote back in. I'm like looking at it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool shit. And I'm like, oh, this motherfucker, I lost.
I did. I got another one. Money. I logged in last week and
did
I had another airdrop. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just was looking, and again, I'm with you though. I got bored with this shit, man. I don't know.
I don't know that I'm not bored of like, I think I was talking to a friend today and we were talking about, and I was talking about an RPG. I was trying to, because he's the only other friend I have that has a VR headset right now. And I've been getting into VR hardcore, which is another thing we'll probably talk about tonight. But this is not about VR, but there is a new MMORPG that just came out for VR. And it's cross-platform on all the VR platforms, whether it's Vive, whether it's Quest, whether it's you buy it off Steam, whether you get it off the Oculus store.
Oh, that's really cool.
However, yeah, and it's like really the first like MMORPG that is actually taken off in VR. And it's very much based off of Sword Art Online. Like the creators even said they, based it off of that and stuff.
Interesting. I need to look up this. What's that what is that game?
Zenith, Zenith. I think it's called The Forgotten City or something like that. But Zenith is the name of the game. But anyways, my point was, so I was telling my friend about this who has a VR headset because he's the only one that does. I'm trying to like get him to get it so we can play together. First thing he said was like, oh, does this have NFT shit? Like, is this an NFT, one of your NFT things? And I'm like, no. And then he was talking. He's like, I don't have an issue. I'm like, dude, what's your problem with NFTs? He's like, I don't have an issue with NFTs. He's like, it's just all money grabs. And I think that's where I'm at right now with a lot of these games and NFTs is they do all just feel like money grabs, man. Like there's nothing unique coming out. The games that are coming out, like even Blancos, like it's cool, but like, they can sure release a new fucking Blanco every month, but they still got the same 3 game modes that they've had for the last year that I've checked out the game. 100%. Like it's literally like, and I get it. Like I'm not against it necessarily because I've like, full disclaimer, I've made money off NFTs. Like I have more money.
You're positive. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the positive on like what I've spent out and what I've gotten in. I've made money. I've basically doubled my investment of what I put in so far. And I still have a shit ton of NFTs in my wallet that are slowly increasing in value. So, it's cool, but it just like, it got boring because it's like, I guess at the end of the day, like, I hate to say it, but like, I guess I've just like, as much as I am about making money and stuff, it's also like it's hard for me to get interested and stay interested in something that's only about money. And I just feel like that's where it's at right now. Like NFTs are only about money. Everybody's releasing still the same damn projects, the same damn like ape variations. I saw a tweet this morning where somebody put, hey, I'm going to give everybody getting ready to launch a project a tip. There's 15 million other species besides apes.
Yeah, well, but that's 100% factual. I mean, the thing is like, so I can't remember. I don't know if I shared you with the video or not the other day, but I was like, again, I'm at work all day long. So I just listen to random shit in the background. I unfortunately can't watch the video, but I think it's this one. I'm pretty sure I did send it to you right here. This guy here. Is it Who's the Boss? Mr. Who's the Boss is the YouTube channel. But anyways, so he did a video on NFTs, right? And it was a short, snippy video. And he's not really bashing NFTs, but in that video, I'll have to go back and find the exact quote that he says or how he explains it. But it's 100% spot on. He basically talks about right now, the shitty thing is there's so much utility going forward with NFTs, right? Like there's a whole world that we still have to discover and develop for NFTs, right? Like it's just, we're barely scratching the surface. But he explains that the problem with it right now is it's quick flip money grabs. That's all it is. They're regenerative. Is it regenerative? Is that what it is? Generative or something? Generative.
Generative.
Yeah, generative. Yeah, generative PFP projects and just like he said, that are not full development artwork? Do you mean, it's a person creating 50 items? Do you mean, picking an animal, as you said, mainly in fucking a monkey or an ape? And then what they're doing is then they're just letting an algorithm, through code develop, these one of a kind, images utilizing these 50 items. And then but what he's saying is at the end of the day, it's all driven by a cat, some sort of cash grab at some point, whether it's going to be initially, whether it's, less than a year down the road, whether maybe it is one that is trying to build a community. And he even mentions that he mentions that there are going to be exceptions where they do make a community, but you're not buying that NFT for the NFT. I mean, for, or that you're, or the utility, you're buying it for the community. So you could be part of this, community club. He said, but beyond that, it's all filled full of cash grabs. And he said that's the big problem. And I do agree with that. I think that's kind of where I'm at in the space. I got into the space.
Not only do I agree with it, but I'll admit, like, most of the NFTs I bought were because I was hoping I could make money off of them.
Right. Of course. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And that's kind of where I'm at with it, in the sense of I'm in that same boat. We got into it at first, right? It was new. It was something, something cool. I mean, we wanted to be a part of, we wanted to learn more. We found more about it. We had people interviewed here on the channel about it. We got deep into it. We started buying stuff, oh, this looks cool. This looks cool. Oh, this has got this creator's back behind it. Maybe it'll pop off. Maybe we'll make some money on this one, or we'll do this. And neither one of us have lost, money at NFTs. It's just, I just kind of hit that point where one day I just kind of looked at everything and it's just like, but it's just a PFP. You know what I mean? Oh, it's just the same PFP. It's just it's like, okay, this is a soldier, with 50 items, you know what I mean? And then tomorrow or a week later, I'm looking and it's like, oh, this is a kangaroo. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not being innovative. You know what I mean? Nothing is evolving yet. We're kind of in that dead period, in my opinion, where, like you said, nothing's done. Taking a look at Blancos, you've been playing, you're not playing but you have played Blancos how long ago? Almost a fucking year ago.
Yeah. I mean, and I want to say it's been out now for 2 years at least.
2 years, and they have still a base fucking game, like the base thing that they had basically on day one. Almost, not saying they're not making upgrades for anybody that's a Blancos fan. They are making upgrades and doing things, but it's not.
I mean, it's more community maps
enough
coming out. I mean, they really haven't introduced new game modes. It's mainly what keeps it fresh is that people make new maps, which is cool, like Roblox and stuff, but there's not enough functionality like Roblox have to really do anything cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I agree with you too. They're just using they're basically at this point in the stage in the game, their only progression is relying on people in the community, to develop something. But again, they're not developing like Roblox because they're limited on what you can do. At the end of the day, it just, to me, it's got to a point where, again, they're selling more characters over and over again. But they're not finishing developing on the game, or so to speak. So,
and we can bitch about all that stuff all night. I mean, I think we have on the podcast before. So I'm gonna interject because I want to ask you a thought process on. I see your dog in the background right now. He just looked up. You're like, oh.
Oh, can you see him?
Yeah, he just looked up because he was like, oh. Anyways, so what do you think needs to happen? What do you think right now is the thorn in the Achilles heel or whatever? Like, what do you think stopping the progress right now? What do you think we need to see happen in this space?
I mean, I guess the first thing I would say is I think we need bigger mainstream utility to adopt it. Meaning like, I think we need more of these bigger mainstream companies, whether it's product companies, which we've seen a couple things from, like, Adidas and stuff, but like, I think we need more adaptation to mainstream to then funnel in more people, which then in turn, ideally, would then push these companies to develop more. I think what we're at right now is a lot of people, same thing with even just small PFP projects. I think they run into a point where it's no longer popping. Like the hype is no longer there, right? Like, like we talked about this before, in projects, even like some of the small PFP, like, I think there's a certain window, right? I think these companies or people or whatever the fuck start these things up. And again, same with Blancos. I think they started up, the hype train is here, they build up all this fucking hype to get to this point, but then something happens where something's not done right, or it's not done quickly or fast enough, because whether it's their budget, whether it's their team, whatever it is, and then the hype dies, right? And as the hype starts to die and the train starts to die off, you got to understand that I'm assuming revenue dies off. I'm assuming, things start to kind of like, slowly stop. And then when that happens, then you have either people leaving the project, or you've got, less developers, or maybe you don't, but yet how do you continue, to pay them or drive the project, if there is nothing revolving. So I don't know. I mean, I personally think the one biggest thing is it's lacking utility. All of this stuff is lacking utility.
Yeah.
They're making utility on empty promises. People don't see the metaverse. People don't see the game that they're promised they're going to build. Blancos is a little bit different. And I do agree with you. I don't understand the logic behind Blancos, because they do have a playable game. You log in there, they have a playable game. It's there. I don't know why they haven't pushed development further, because as well as I know, their fucking Blancos sell out instantly. I mean, I'm talking about within 20-30 minutes. Most of them do. Some of them don't, if they're super expensive. So I don't know about that company, but I'm saying, like, on behalf of other NFT projects, PFP projects, whether they're actual full-blown game projects like that I've been a part of, that I've got an NFT for one of them right now. They're like on their third drop, of these races, and I'm excited for it, but I will admit I don't have that same excitement I had when I first discovered the project and they promised a game. It's got to the point now where it's just been so long, and all we've got is the same empty promise. We're like, hey, dropping a new race today. You have to buy the race, or buy the character if you want to do anything with that, with that race inside the game. You got to have, one of those races. That's it. That's the only way to get them. It's cool, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, but I can't do nothing with it. The game's not out. You know what I mean? I just own this character in something that could potentially be in the future, or 5 months from now they could fucking close the doors and pull the money, and then we own something. I mean, I'm kind of all over the place, I guess, with my answer, but I personally think it's utility. I think we're lacking a real world utility, or not real world, but you know what I mean? Like, I think we're lacking that, and I think we're also lacking the mainstream adaptation. I think there's just not enough. I think it's too hidden, and crypto in general, man, is way too fucking hard to get into from a person who has nothing to do with crypto. If I didn't have you, I would not be, I promise you, I would have not went through the hoops, that I did to set up my wallet, to set up my shit, to do all of those things. I wouldn't have.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, there still is a lot of that. It has gotten easier because, like with crypto, Coinbase made it where you just make an account, boom, all your stuff's there. Actually, just this week, there was another big hack where a bunch of Ethereum and stuff was stolen from some big exchange. I forget how much it was.
Oh yeah,
crazy amounts that like people like, and it's just crazy that stuff still is happening, and that they haven't figured out a way to, like, I get that, there's the whole diehard group, including myself, that's like, your keys, your money, you own your own wallet. Like, if you fuck it up, that's on you. I get that, but there also needs to be, just like in real life, you get a dollar bill, it's your money, you hide it on their mattress. If somebody comes and robs you, it's your own damn fault, but you can stick it in the bank. Well, right. You can stick it in the bank and get a little bit of assurance that it's going to be okay.
Right.
You might, now it takes you longer to get your money. Maybe you don't keep it all in the bank because you don't want, the bank to have all your money, whatever. But there has to be that intermediate services like Coinbase, but I think it needs to be a step further, like these vault places that can hold people's crypto for them, and make it so that they don't lose it, and come up with ways. Like, I saw the other day on Twitter, somebody like sent wrapped Ethereum, because you got to use wrapped Ethereum to do bids and stuff like on OpenSea for NFTs.
Yep.
And they tried to send their wrapped Ethereum to a different Ethereum address. They wanted to move it, but they didn't realize that wrapped Ethereum's actually different than Ethereum, and you can't send wrapped Ethereum to an Ethereum address. And so they lost all of their Ethereum. Like, 100 to 200 Ethereum gone. You're talking like
thousands of dollars.
Yeah, hundreds of that, like $100 to $200,000 gone. No way to get it back. And it's like, all they had to do is stick in the code that a warning, hey, you're trying to send wrapped Ethereum to an Ethereum address. This ain't gonna work, motherfucker.
That's fucking
like that. Like, if I send something in PayPal, if I try to send regular money to someone else, and like there's like PayPal gives me issues if they're like, hey, this guy might be a scammer. Like, it's been reported before. Like, I've gotten warnings from PayPal from things before, and it's like,
dude, that's fucking crazy.
Why can that not be like? Why is that not in the code? Like, how hard is that to put that in the code?
Do you know that I don't know how the hell I would feel? Like, I don't know. The reason why I say that is because, like, I felt sick to my stomach that night when we went to go buy our first NFT, and you lost only like $100 or something. On your transaction,
a
couple $100. Yeah, but I felt sick as shit to my stomach on your transaction for $200. Could you imagine fucking losing that much wrapped Ethereum? Like, that's what's insane to me. And I do agree with you. I definitely think there's a lot of that stuff. And not only that too, I mean, playing on that whole scheme of things, like I already mentioned it, but like, I just think the space needs a better onboarding system. Like, if they want crypto and NFTs and all of this stuff to become a more standard practice or mainstream, I guess is the word. If they want that to be the case, which everybody does that's in the space, right? That's the whole point of it, right? You want it to become mainstream. You want it to blow up. You want to do these things. They just got to be a fucking better onboarding process. And now I just think
better
it sucks.
onboarding process, but better
management,
security,
better
management, better, again, things like sending wrapped Ethereum that should not happen.
No,
sending like Bitcoin to an Ethereum address, you should not be able to, like, that should not I don't think that can actually happen, but I'm just saying things like that shouldn't be able to happen. It should be in the code. These developers should have it in the code that if it's not Ethereum coming to the address and it's Ethereum wallet, like,
it just sends it right back, or kicks it back to the fucking address.
This is like, hey, no, like, this is no, like, nope, can't do it.
I was about to say that. I was just about to say that it shouldn't even be an option. Like, at that point, the moment that he would have clicked whatever button he clicks, you mean, to send his, no. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, to send his wrapped Ethereum, it shouldn't have that fucking option. It shouldn't even give him the option to send wrapped Ethereum. You know what I mean?
And the thing is it can be incorporated by, like, Ethereum. The developers of Ethereum could make it so that if any other thing is trying to come to an Ethereum address, it stops it. It just denies. Maybe you lose your gas fee because but you shouldn't lose everything.
Right.
And they don't even, like, Coinbase can implement it. Would that solve all the issues? No, because tons of people don't always use Coinbase. But it would solve the issues for Coinbase users. Right? Like, at least it would solve the issue for your Coinbase users. Like, they should be able to, I don't know, they just should be able to do that. And I think, and for me, the problem is, like you said, I think it also goes back to, like, and it always goes to this, but greed. All these companies coming out, they're making these games to sell NFTs. What needs to happen, number one, and this will happen with PFP projects are going to die in the sense that they're not going to be able to mint for hundreds of dollars.
Right.
They're going to switch to, like, Polygon Network, or gas fees are going to get fixed whenever version 2 of Ethereum comes out or whatever. But anyways, it's going to happen to, like, a lot of places are starting to use Polygon Network, Matic, so where it's like no gas fees and stuff, or barely any. So where you could pay a couple dollars, like, you want to become part of this community, it's a couple dollars to mint one, you're part of this community, whatever. Like, there'll always be that, like, the communities of people.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. But they're not going to be selling for $100,000s of dollars.
But my point is, if you try to do that all the time, it's not going to work. You got to have unique artwork, like the Picassos, like the famous photographers, the famous painters. That's going to bring in the money. Those are what's going to bring in the money.
Yeah.
But where NFTs are really going to shine, I still believe, outside of that unique artwork space. And maybe that means, like, there'll be more artists that can make money off of their artwork, their unique artwork. It allows that, but I just don't think it's going to allow, like, what we're currently seeing, where just all this money's flowing into all these fucking projects and everything. But anyways, I think where the real thing is still with gaming. I think gaming is where NFTs really become mainstream, because I still think at the end of the day, gamers want to own the shit that they collect in games, weapons, outfits.
Oh yeah, I agree. Oh yeah,
all of that stuff. But the problem is, all of these motherfuckers on these games, they're making a game to sell NFTs.
Right.
What needs to happen is people need to just incorporate, like you said, kind of it, but it doesn't have to be the big companies. It can be new companies. And this is going to happen because this always happens with anything, competition. Yep. And as it gets more and more competition, more people coming in, people aren't going to keep buying all this stuff in games to play a game. So someone's going to eventually have to come out with a game where you just earn the NFTs for playing the fucking game. It's just a normal ass game that you earn NFTs. And then you say, well, how do they make their money then? Just like they always have. They still sell cosmetics. They still sell all this shit. People buy it. Yes, it becomes an NFT, but it's not that they're buying an NFT. They're buying the cosmetics, they're buying the just game like they normally are.
Well, you could say that, but I think you could do both sides of that, though. I think you could do it where side one would be what you're describing, right? You make a everybody can play free to play game, right? And then you basically do, like, what I would like to call the Fortnite route, right? You basically make a game that's free to play. Anybody can play whatever, not Fortnite like genre, but Fortnite and their model, meaning, like, maybe you could offer, they make a little bit of money on buying like a season pass that would give them, bonus, like a bonus skin and like, some extra shit or whatever. Right.
Which would all be NFTs.
Right. Correct.
Should be.
Yeah, exactly. And then, or maybe like you're saying, you whatever loot drops in the game or whatever you do or progress, whatever, then you could unlock NFTs that way, right? I mean, and you can just have them and you own those assets. But I also think the other side would be profitable, where you could actually sell games, where a game to company, would build a good quality game, like for instance, we'll say Diablo, right? They create a Diablo game, right? And then all of a sudden, like let's just say they charge $39 for it, right? $40. So they're making all the money on the initial transactions, and then gamers just own the shit that they fucking earn. Armor fucking drops in the game, that's an NFT. But the idea is, like you said, that's not the way they're thinking about it. These companies are wanting to sell NFTs first
to make extra money.
Exactly. Then they want to develop a game that helps them sell those NFTs. These companies are not developing a game and then incorporating NFTs.
And it's a little switch, but the thing is, because here's the thing, you'd make more money, because here's what would happen. If you did that game would become popular. Right. You don't even necessarily have to mention that the stuff's NFTs. Like, it's not about the NFT. But here's the thing. You then start a secondary player market where people can sell and trade their items and stuff. You make the royalties, that 10% fee, that's the market's fee for having the market or whatever. You'll make a killing, because people will actually be playing your fucking game and actually collecting your NFTs and actually selling and buying your NFTs on your secondary marketplace, instead of trying to sell. Like, I mean,
right, but listen, I'm 100% with you, and not only would that give the players who do not have all the time in the world to play, right, something or in a reason to play, because it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if you do that or if you grind all fucking day long and you don't have a job and you sit at home and you don't go to fucking college and live with your parents all day and you can play all day. It doesn't matter. It caters to both sides of those people, the both gamers. You have those people, sure, they've got way more stuff that they can sell in the secondary market, sure, but like at the same time, like, so do you can still fucking play the game, you know what I mean? And not only that, the big takeaway from this is, I just love the fact that if I don't want to do it anymore, I have something to show for my time. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
And that's what I'm saying. They like, really what these game companies need to think of NFTs as and realize them as is just a universal display of items, a universal way to display items anywhere. That's it.
Yep.
A universal way, so that if I'm in my house in Skyrim and I want to put in my house a painting
of a
from
Minecraft
this
or something
place, like I can do that. Or this armor set that I got from Cyberpunk, and I want to, like, it might not look aesthetically well, whatever, but like, right, I could do that in whatever the thing is. And that, to me, I think that's where we're at with all these, like, to kind of bring it full circle. And the reason I was bringing that up is because I'm with you. I think that's where we're at with all of these things, is that we have like the framework of each thing. We have like VR starting to come out. When you load in, whether it's Oculus or Steam, whichever platform you're using, you have a house that you can put items and stuff in. Those items aren't NFTs, but it would be cool if I could put my NFT items in there that I'm earning from all these different games. It's just items that, you unlock from Oculus or from Steam. But I would love there to be actual items from the games I'm playing that I've unlocked, like the armor sets and stuff. Then we have the digital money to orchestrate all of this NFT stuff and buying and selling in these games and stuff that exists. And it works no matter where you're at in the country. You don't got to do conversion, or not country, in the world. You don't got to do conversions. You don't got to try to, like, right now, I have a video editor that lives in the Philippines. I got to do conversions from US dollars to whatever the fuck the Philippines money is. I forget. Rupees? Is it rupees? I think it might be rupees. I don't know. And one day, like $200 US might be worth 8,000 Philippine dollars. The next day it might be worth 7,000 Philippine dollars, for the, like, dealing with exchange rates. It's never an exact. With Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever you're using, it's always the same. Oh, I'm charging 0.1 Ethereum for this. Doesn't matter where you
doesn't matter where you are.
How that equates to your, like, that all with Ethereum or whatever, cool, but it's 0.1 Ethereum. That's what you're getting at the end of the day. No matter what side you're on, you're paying 0.1 Ethereum, you're getting 0.1 Ethereum. Then how that translates into your own currency, you can decide when to transfer that.
Right.
Is it up? Is my currency up right now?
But they don't.
But they don't. More dollars.
But the beauty of it is that they don't have to.
Well, yeah,
they could just keep
it.
They could just keep it Ethereum. You mean, you know, or Bitcoin or whatever they're paying it. You mean they could keep it in that, and then again, they're not losing anything. It's one for one. They're trading the exact same thing you are. There's no conversion that has to happen. There's no nothing. Like, I agree with you. And
I think we have all these frameworks, but we just haven't had anybody that has actually been able to incorporate it smartly, because we have all these people trying to make a quick buck off of it.
Listen. That's because exactly what you're saying. There is nobody innovating. There's nobody innovating. It's like you said, we've had technology pop up, right? We've discovered this. We've got the framework, but at the forefront, what do we have? We've got developers and people that only thing that's on their mind is money and greed. That's it. They don't, and it's all across the realm. You've got PFP projects all the way to fucking full on developed games. They're at the end of the day, they're making money. They want money. Whatever we can do to drive more money, that's what we want. Their forefront is not longevity, utility. What can we do with this? How can we better the technology? How, you know what I mean? How can we do, like, that's not what they give a shit about. At least not right now. I'm not saying everybody out there, you know what I mean, does this, but and there might be true people out there and true projects that might actually have this vision. But I'm just saying,
I think there was. I think like Bored Ape Yacht Club, that was innovation at the time.
Right.
Cyberkongs, that was innovate. Like there, you know, some of these projects were innovation at the time, but then it becomes repeatable because people say, "Oh, I can make money." So the problem is, you got to find. We need those people that'll innovate like that, like people that did with Cyberkongs. Like, oh, we can make these NFT projects. This is cool. You know, we can make this community. We can do all this cool shit. We need that with all of these different things coming together. But here's where I like want to chime in. What I don't think they realize is they would make way more money, because yes, maybe you have a player base of 1 million people. Maybe 10,000 of those people will buy us, like, let's say League of Legends. Let's just say they have 1 million active players. I know they have way more than that, whatever. Actually, let's go high. Let's say they have 100 million active players. Let's say 5 million people buy skins.
Okay.
You know, because some of the skins, like, it's $20, like $20-$30 for a skin in League of Legends, like for some of the legendaries and stuff. Like, they're not cheap all the time. Like, they have sales, they have cheaper ones, sure. But let's say now there's a secondary. Let's say you buy that, it's an NFT. You own the skin, which means now you can sell it on a secondary market, in which League will still make some money. They'll make 10% of the sale, but they make 10% of the sale every time it's sold, right? And also, maybe they don't make $30 off of that skin, but now instead of 5 million people out of the 100 million buying skins, now you have 50 million people buying skins, because, you know, those skins, maybe because people can still buy them for $30 brand new. So maybe they only sell in the secondary market for $20 or $15. Right. So now you have more people that are willing to buy them. And then let's say those people want to, like, you know, the market brings down prices. So now skins that you can go buy for $30 out of the store, you can go buy for $5 in the market. But every time they sell that skin, League, and you have way more people then participating in buying the skins. Right. So even though it's a lower amount that you're making, the quantity of sales is increasing exponentially.
I mean, but what you're describing is simple taxes and capitalism. That's literally how it works. Like, how much does the government, like, we take you have a $1 bill, right? I mean, like, you pay that one. I give that $1 bill to you, right? You claim that $1 bill. The government says, okay, you know, I give you this $1 bill. You know what I mean? You have to pay them 7 cents on that dollar bill, right? Just for instance, I'm just using random numbers, but, you know, 7 cents on that dollar bill, right? Then you take that dollar bill and you go to the gas station and you buy fucking a gas, like something, right? Then they gotta pay the amount, you know, on theirs. I mean, you know, and then it just keeps on going. So at the end of the day, at some point in time, that fucking dollar bill, the government has made more than a fucking dollar on that dollar bill, right? It's the same Right, but I'm just saying it's the same principle, right? You take that same idea and it's the exact same thing when you look at the grand scheme of things. You literally buy a skin for $30. Yes, short term, you're not making as much money right away. I get it. It's not a quick flip. It's not a fucking make money fast, get the fuck out. It's hey, this one skin could net us $500,000. Do you know what I mean? You know, in however long, compared to, okay, you know, we made the quick flip, you know, here, and we made $100 on the skin. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing. Even if the game dies, you'll still make money with NFTs as a company, because there's still going to be people that want to collect that shit for their houses. There's still going to be people that just think, oh, that's a really cool piece of armor from that game. I don't even care that it's from that game, but I just think it looks cool, and I'd like to display that in my house. in my VR house or my whatever.
Well,
so I'm just gonna buy it just for that reason, not even because I play
and you'd have and you'd have nostalgia too. You'd have nostalgia collectors.
You'll have people that lose their NFTs, their wallets because crypto can't fucking stop that shit. For some reason. So then they gotta rebuy it. But that's so like even if the game dies, there will still be resale value there. Will it be, will it keep going down if the game dies? Will skin sell for as much as it does when the game's not? Probably not. But I'm saying it's forever. Now you make money off of that NFT every time it sells. Years and years and years. I mean, a million years into the future, you could be making money off of that NFT.
Oh yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's
because somebody wants to collect that thing.
Right. But that's the beauty of the blockchain. That's the beauty of the blockchain. It will keep track of every single bit of that. I mean, every single transaction, there is no way around that. You sell that skin, you get that same percentage of whatever the fuck that percentage was set up for initially. You still get that 10%, no matter if it sells for a fucking penny or it sells for $100,000. And that's the beauty of it. I agree with you. I don't know why they're not thinking big.
Well, I think someone will. I think that will come. It has to. And I think that's what we're experiencing right now and what we're talking about is not just us. I think a lot of people in NFTs and crypto, I think that's why we saw such a huge drop in crypto over these last, because I think a lot of people cashed out of NFTs. Right. We saw a lot of Bored Ape Yacht members finally start selling their Bored Ape Yacht members because they're getting 100. I mean, I think the floor's up to like 100 Ethereum right now on Bored Ape Yacht Club. Like people are finally starting to cash out. And I think that they're then cashing out of Ethereum to go buy houses, to go buy this. And because I think people are just, they're tired of it. And so I think what'll happen is you'll see a company that realizes that they'll come in and they'll say, hey, we're not going to make $50 million like Blancos did, but hey, we're fine with making 25 million if we do it this way. We'll just let people own it. And then we'll make money off the secondary market. Would you be okay with making 25 million if it lets you get into the market instead of 50 million?
Yeah, I'd be down making 1 fucking million. I don't care.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. There's always going to be that competition of somebody that's willing to accept less in order to get into the market, in order to get a foot in the door, so to speak.
But you know what's crazy though is the fact that me and you can sit here and spitball on a fucking podcast episode, about this and have these ideas and have these thought processes. But like, why the fuck aren't we like ahead of these big ass companies? Like, why? I know you say we're not the only ones out there. And we're not. I know. It's just, I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like I agree with you in the sense of like, it shouldn't be us coming up with the shit. It should be these fucking people. Coming up with.
Yeah. Well, because I just think most humans only care about money. I just think that is. I mean, and I don't mean that as like a slight towards humans or anything. I mean, I'm worried about money. You're worried about money. Most people are worried about money. It's what we use to buy shit, especially if you're not rich, you're worried about money. Trying to make it. And I just think, I think people are just trying to make money. But I think we will, just like, people like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, they don't give a fuck about the money. Even the people that created some of these big gaming companies, it's not, maybe, they make money, sure, but I guarantee you the passion and stuff behind it was not about the money. It was about creating something really cool. And I just think that's those people are far and few in between, but I think those people will come. I think you'll have I think we already have. I mean, I do think there's some like I said, there's some projects out there that are good, that are really good. I mean,
I'm
like
sure.
There's some games I've played that, like, are they as good as mainstream games? No, but they're good.
But they also don't have the same budget. They don't have a fucking 100 to 200 fucking developers on staff, to fine tune every little thing and come up with their creative. They don't have that, so it makes sense how good they are, in the sense,
right. And so I just think it's a bunch of technologies that are really all one technology, or the framework of what's going to just be
one technology,
our online world, living in an online world. However you want to classify, whether that's full VR, we go full VR, whether that's, we're just going in and out of VR and AR and it's just becomes part of our world. We need ways to interact and transact in that world. And these are all the different ways of doing that. Money, cryptocurrencies, plus like it allows us to have like these large digital computers, like Ethereum is basically a giant supercomputer that's run by the whole world. Bitcoin, is basically, like a store of value. Then you have these other cryptocurrencies that allow you to do stuff on, each of them. Some of them are just useless money grabs. Some of them have purposes, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, but it's just like life. That's the same fucking thing we got now.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
exact same thing. Exact
and
same
like
thing.
you know, but yeah, so it gives us our money, it gives us our ability to own possessions in the digital world. NFTs, that's really all that is deeds, online deeds that say you own something. It just needs to all come together a little bit better than what it has. We need more people that want to build something for the sake of building something cool versus building something for the sake of making money. I think we have that in cryptocurrencies. Like, I don't think like Vitalik, however you say his last name, Buterin or whatever, the founder of Ethereum, I don't think he did it to make money. He did it because it was a really cool project. The person that obviously made Bitcoin, I mean, of course, there's rumors that he has a lot of Bitcoin sitting in a wallet somewhere, but that Bitcoin has never been touched. It's never been used. It's never been transferred out of there. Right. So if the guy, as of today, I mean, 12, 15 years later, however long Bitcoin's, like, he's still not making money because he hasn't sold any of it, hasn't transferred any of it. These people did it for the joy of creating something that they thought the world needed. The people that originally started with the NFTs and these tokens and stuff that came out with the technology of NFTs, that's why they did it. They saw like, hey, we need to be able to own stuff digitally. We just had people take it, to make a quick buck, and myself included. I'm not talking shit. Because again, I bought a lot of NFTs just to make money, but I also did buy some that I just thought were cool. Like I own a lot of NFTs, especially, again, I always mention in podcasts on the Tezos network. I love some of the stuff I just bought on the Tezos network. That were one of one items and stuff. And
the two pieces that I've seen that you bought on the Tezos network was fucking awesome, dude. I thought it was really cool. Like the I can't remember the one guy, but that one that's got like the collage images, you know what I mean? With like the person riding the bike, like the cool, all that. Oh, dude, very freaking awesome artwork. The sad part is though, is like, I feel like it's like cheap, you know what I mean? Like, like cost wise, you know what I mean? For I'm saying, like, if you were to translate that art piece into the real world, like in a gallows or like in a gallery, it would sell for way more money. I mean, than what it sells there. The difference
probably not.
You don't think so?
Well, I think like in the real world, maybe 0.02% of art makes it to galleries and stuff.
No, I'm not saying it wouldn't make it. I'm saying if it was there.
Right, but that's my point. It's not. I think what Correct. NFTs do allow is it allows more people to make money off their artwork that previously were not able to.
No, and I agree with that. I guess what I was trying to say is that I just think that it's worth more than that. Like some of those art pieces look so fucking awesome. Yeah. You know what I mean? Give me those one of ones. Like really cool. Not generative stuff. I'm talking about the one of one. Like the I know people making a piece of art. I'm saying. Sometimes I just think that's like, man, dude, that's so fucking awesome. And then you look at something, you're like, but it's only $200. Like I feel like like as an artist inside, like I just feel like, dude, that should be fucking a couple $1,000. You know what I mean? For this piece of artwork that nobody else in the world would fucking be able to own. And that's what I guess that's what I was trying to say was, I understand it. It's a catch 22, right? Because again, yes, in the real world, nobody probably, the chances of them being discovered, outside of their local whatever, that they've advertised, would be slim potentially. And maybe they don't sell any of them. So, I understand that this gives them that opportunity to make a sale. So because of that, they're making way more money than they ever would. I get it. But at the same time, as an artist, I also see the further value in it. When I look at something and I see, oh shit, like, this should be.
But I think, right. And I get all that. And I understood what you were saying. I guess, what I'm saying is I think most artwork now that's selling for a lot of money will start selling like that. Most artwork will go to that price range. Just like now, if you go like, most artwork does not sell for a lot of money in the real world. Most artwork will not sell it'll be like 0.5% of all artwork on the internet will actually be worth anything. The rest, you're just collecting it because you think it's cool and you're going to pay a fair market value for that, which is whatever the market decides that's going to be. That just depends on supply and demand. If there's 100,000 great artists out there that has content out, you're not going to make as much because there's 100 other I can go to all these other guys that again are all undercutting each other. To make a buck. So, that's just how it's gonna be, I guess, was my point about it. Was just that, like, I just think most artwork goes to that because it's just like the real world. Most artwork does not sell for a lot of money.
No, and I understand that. Yeah, and it definitely will. It definitely will. Speaking on a side note here, talking about that, I'm just going back to Zenith or whatever. I've been looking at the website here, dude, and it looks pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. I bought it. I haven't played it yet, but I did buy it.
So the only thing that makes me curious though, like looking at this and looking at the movements and stuff, that's all you doing the movements in VR, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where the fuck you gotta fucking need an open room? Like, how do you do all this shit? Like,
well, yeah, so walking in VR is a little different. So there's a couple ways. You can have a really giant room and do everything. Yes. So like on your controller, you have your two controllers, and they basically have all the buttons that a normal controller has. There's two joysticks, one on each of them.
Okay.
There's two buttons on each one, an A, B, X, Y on the other. So
Okay.
two on each of the things. And then there's like a start and select button, basically. And then you got side triggers, and then you got back trigger. So you got, two triggers on each controller.
So what motions detect just your arms?
So you can move with the joysticks in the game without you actually moving in real life. And then you're just swinging your swords or casting a spell or whatever by doing your stuff with your hands. That or blocking or whatever. Like you can do that with your hands, but the moving part is done with joysticks.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Or you can have a really big room and you can move around and you'll move in the game. Like if you're just walking in your room, you'll be walking in the game. But most people don't have that kind of space. So there are other options out there. There's what's called omnidirectional treadmills you can buy. They're expensive right now. Obviously, price is going to keep coming down and all. I mean, we're still early in VR, even though it's starting to become mainstream with the Oculus Quest. The Oculus Quest took VR very mainstream compared to where it was. But there's so like an omnidirectional, you're like strapped in, you're wearing a belt that keeps you in the middle, like you have a bar around you, and and then to the bar is like a belt that comes off of it that you're strapped in the middle.
Yeah.
So you can run in any direction on this treadmill. You can move you can move in any direction. It's omnidirectional treadmill. It's it's just a circle treadmill, big enough for you to stand on and run in any direction in one spot. But then you're running in the game.
Dude, can you fucking imagine the workout that you could get just by playing video games?
Dude, just Beat Saber. When I play that for like, if I do like an hour and a half of Beat Saber, I burn 1,000 calories.
That's
like just from the cardio of Beat Saber. And that's just moving my arms. That's standing in one spot, just moving arms, like in like maybe like leaning or taking one or two steps to the side. But like, I'm not like moving around. I'm standing in one spot hitting blocks. And I'll burn 1,000 calories in like an hour to an hour and a half, depending on like the intensity.
That's dude, that's wild. That's pretty insane. So like, okay, so very cool, very cool. So like, so my next question would be, what about jumping? How do you jump?
You just jump.
The Oculus, for instance, would pick up on your jumping motion.
Yeah. So I mean, just like a phone, there's gyroscopes in like the Oculus Quest 2. There's also cameras all over it. So there's several cameras on it, as well as like sensors and stuff. So it knows like, I mean, like when you're standing in VR, it knows if you move your head here or here, and your head moves like that in the game. So it knows
is there a latency?
It knows if you duck down.
Is there a latency between the two?
Oh no.
When you wear and put it on, you do this, when you move, does it take the person
Nope.
Instant. It doesn't. Interesting.
Yeah,
See, so I guess that's the difference between the little shitty phone one, that you put in the car.
Oh yeah. These are way more advanced than that nowadays. Like I said, the Quest was a big leap forward. And I mean, that's not even if you get like a Valve Index or you'll be blown away at because the biggest thing is quality, like the lenses. So even the Oculus 2, there's still a little bit of fuzziness, or you got to get them on just right, adjust them to get the clearest vision. There are headsets again that look perfectly clear. I'm excited. The Quest 3 should come out this year. I'm excited for that because right now the pass-through cameras and everything are black and white. It's rumored that the new one's going to be full color cameras on it and stuff. Also, the quality of the display should be much larger. So instead of, I don't know what the resolution of the current one is, but I know the resolution will be higher. I think it'll be the Quest 2 was a big leap forward in getting mainstream. I think the Quest 3 will be a big leap in the tech of just getting to the place where it really becomes when you're in it, it's nice and clear and crisp. Like a lot of the plug-in VR sets that cost $700 to $1,000 are. Holy I think we'll get that in a wireless version. But that's even dude. The Oculus Quest 2 has you don't even have to use the controllers. It has full hand tracking. So you can set the controllers down, go like this, and you'll see your hands in VR. And you can, do this to pinch to select stuff. You'll have a little, dot, and you hover over the OK button and go like this, and it'll select the, OK button. And, you can go like this to bring up your Oculus menu.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it has like full hand tracking. They just
dude. So when are you gonna start this fucking MMO? That sounds badass. Like, I want to watch you on a stream. Like,
oh man, I don't know. I'm playing a different game right now in VR that I've been playing on stream, which is the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners.
That's what you're telling me about.
Yeah, and so I've been playing that, which is a really fun game too.
Yeah, but you gotta be excited for this MMO. Like, it's an RPG MMO, which sounds fucking awesome. Like, even like just reading like the quick little snippet here. I mean, like, the world of Zenith is a lush fantasy world dripping with detail, and through VR, you'll feel like you're actually there. Adrenaline pumping action adventure gameplay you can feel with every swing of your blade and every lightning bolt you cast. Like, that's so damn cool, dude. And it looks awesome. I mean, like, the graphics look, they don't look like what's the word,
they're
realistic.
Cartoony.
They're cartoony. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. They don't
very
look like
Sword Art Online-ish.
Yeah, like, that's what it looks like. But it looks wicked cool. Like, I don't know. I the part that excites me,
I don't think you need realistic graphics for immersion. I've come to find out you don't need realistic graphics. When I'm playing Beat Saber, it's not realistic looking graphic. I forget I'm in that fucking game. So, like, I forget I'm just playing the game. Like, it could very well just be me doing that in real life. Like my brain just forgets that I'm in a headset, because I've had the Quest 2 for a while, but I used to play it. I couldn't play it that long because like it'd get uncomfortable. It'd like start hurting my nose sitting on it. So like what really got me back into it, because I had the Quest 2 since the Quest 2 came out, and which has been, I don't know how long now, but I haven't played it. Like, like, I haven't really done any VR content or anything.
Right.
It's only been like the last month. And that's because I finally bought an upgraded head strap that's way more comfortable, and face plate, so that like now when it's on my head, it's super comfy, lots of cushion everywhere, so it doesn't hurt my head, and I also have a battery pack on the back of it that gives me longer play time. I can just plug it right into it. But it also, having that battery pack takes the weight off the front and evens it out. So these upgrades made it very comfortable to wear for extended periods of time. I can now wear this headset for 4 to 6 hours with no issues at all.
Yeah, very
like
cool.
In terms of comfort or anything. And so I think,
imagine if you could take, no joke, if you could take your house, right, and have like somehow
that's possible.
Listen,
it's possible already.
That's what I was gonna say. It like scanned in to where you could wear the headset full time and navigate your house.
Yes, that already exists. Not in the Oculus Quest 2, but there's headsets that already have the cameras and stuff. They're super expensive that can do this stuff. The Quest can do stuff like you can add your couch, your desk into your VR space. You can add your keyboard. There's a certain keyboard that you can buy that you can see the keyboard in your VR space. So you can actually, see what
you're typing, basically.
Yeah. Like, you can see your hands on the keyboard in the VR. But here's what I think like you'll start to see too is like, dude, I can have a monitor that's like 150-inch diagonal in VR space. Like, I can have my desktop icons this fucking huge zoomed up to me, dude. And I can like look around at this giant ass monitor in front of me to look at things. And it looks good as fuck. You can have 5 or 6 different applications, monitors like this around you in the room that you're in. Like, it's like crazy. The multitasking is going to be ridiculous when the input gets a little better, because now it's hard to type or use a mouse in VR. But when like all that stuff is in your VR space, and it's just like you sit down, it's your room, but now instead of real monitors, you have 10 virtual, and it's like, oh, let me hide my tower that's sitting on my desk. I don't need that, so let me get that out of the way, and all this other stuff, so that then I can just have 5 monitors laid out in front of me here. And but I can still see my keyboard and mouse and the other, like my phone that's sitting on my desk, and I can still pick up my phone and look at it even though I'm in VR. See my phone and reply to a text message. That's all coming very soon. Very soon.
That's why
a lot of it already exists. It just needs perfected.
Right.
And like,
that's
I mean,
wild.
dude, like, yeah. And then like, you won't even have real life monitors. You like, cause dude, these virtual monitors they're way better, man. It's way better. The potential, it's not there yet. It's not
but I
get
what you're saying though. I mean, dude, that's fucking awesome. Like I said, I mean, it's I mean, it's very,
and
very
like,
cool.
and again, with the pass-through cameras, as they get better and stuff, like I said, with scanning in, it'll be like real time scan, not just a scan of your room and it's an image in VR. It'll be real time scanning.
Which means like you're at work, like you're sitting here and your wife comes in the room as you're in your VR, and she put exactly. You can see her, and she put something down somewhere, and it just automatically still exists through the VR. It's there.
Which I guess would be more like augmented reality versus VR. But it's like, that's what I'm saying. It kind of is all going to work together. I think that's where we're heading. Like, I mean, you know, eventually, you know, hopefully like we actually get to where these displays are super small. Like it's basically like like wearing a pair of sunglasses. And, you know, whether it's like you know, you see the futuristic ones where they kind of wrap around your head like this, maybe that's what they do. So you have the full field of view or whatever.
I think they would have to, because there would have to be no way that it would break out of it, because if your eyes was able to see outside of it, then there goes your immersion.
Well, not necessarily.
I think so.
Because all right, well then let me say this. So let's say you have sunglasses on that are lenses that can project stuff into your real space, like monitors and stuff in front of you.
Okay, yeah.
Do you need to see? I mean, but like, let's say you're in VR now and you have that same thing. Well, out of your peripherals, you're going to see the same thing you would see if you're wearing the glasses, because the VR is just showing you.
Well, yeah, but
what you would see out of the room in your peripherals.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but the whole reason behind it being completely enclosed is so you don't have any tracking outside of the VR space. Because I feel like,
now in a game, yes, that would make sense. But I'm saying for productivity, like where you're at work, and
I guess it depends.
You put on and like they're your, like say they're your monitors, so then you can see your stuff in. So then what it is it's just overlaying stuff on top of your real world, basically.
That makes sense. I understand that. I'm talking in terms of like
full immersion for games and stuff. Yeah, you would need
like I'm saying my office right here behind me, right? Like you see the blue lights and stuff and everything. Okay, it is what it is. But let's say I want to wear my VR headset, right? And I have it real time scanning my room, right? But I also have things that is not in my room. You see what I'm saying? So like, but I think that's where the distraction would come into play. Meaning like if they were just glasses, it would be fine. But like, let's say like, I don't know, right here, like I've got this scan in my room, this window, right? But instead of having this window, I've got this big giant poster up right here, right? If I was to turn just enough to where my eye and my peripheral can see that this is just a window, you know what I mean? But then yet if I like, turn it, or if I focus again back into the thing, you know what I mean? It's a poster. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's where that weird, odd confusion would be. I think that's why you would want it to be fully
right. But
enclosed.
But
what you're talking about is more,
but I'm
like,
talking about we were talking about productivity, like at work. I don't think you need all that, because you're probably not going to have a poster at work over here in VR. You would just have you just mainly using it for the displays in front of you and stuff, the productivity of it, right to your keyboards and stuff. Or extra.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you would go to work,
and then like VR, you probably that's what I'm saying. Like, you also have a VR headset.
Right, I get what you're saying. Yeah, you'd go to work or whatever, or wherever you are at home or whatever at work, but it would be like, I mean, it could essentially just be a blank desk. You know what I mean? You're sitting there, and you put the glasses on, and the reason why is like you said, because then boom, whatever your setup is, is still, is in that VR space. And you're working on doing whatever you're doing just like you would normally be. But if you were to take off the glasses, or look down or look over the glasses or whatever, it would just be nothing here. You know what I mean? Because it's all, in the augmented, reality type of thing,
right.
Or adding that into a space. No, I 100% agree with that. I think that'd be cool. Not only that, I really think taking this kind of like way out in the realm, I think it'd be fucking cool to have that integration all the time on everything. I agree. I think it'd be fire. Like you to go to the mall, right? Like, and it wouldn't have to be malls, then like physical malls, but like imagine like if it was like let's blend the two. Let's not all let's not full dive into digital world. Let's just say it's augment of both, right? Or like you pull up to a restaurant, right? Like you pull up to like a fast food joint to get food, right? To eat. You pull up, it'd be fucking awesome, right? To like have the menu actually show you like the food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Push one and then see what that looks like.
Yeah. Like you walk up to the the menu board or whatever, and instead of it being like like just picture sitting here, it's like 3D, like like actual food. Like you'd be able to like pull up, it pops out a thing. And then it's just like product one or number one on the menu, and you can see it. Spin it around, do whatever you want to do. Swipe it to the left. Tray number two comes out. You can see it. Whatever. Or if you don't want, I don't want the fries. You pick the fries up and put the fries off to the side. Put the apple on. Whatever you want. But they would be cool as shit. Like it'd be super cool. Or imagine like driving a car, like any basic car, right? Like you would no longer have to look at a speedometer, right? Or, you know what I mean? You know, and try to gauge the different things or whatever. You mean like imagine like it just was there. Like you just got in the car and it just automatically, you know, where and like, and it's not even the best part is it doesn't even obstruct your view. That's the best part. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like maybe it's like, you know, you like it, you're what, you know, you like the speedometer all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, you know, of your view, right? Like, you know, like right here to the
just
left.
like a video game, honestly.
Right. Exactly.
You
like
put it
where
you want it, and
right,
you know, it's
exactly.
out of the way. And
yeah. And then on top of that, oh shit, I'm fucking going crazy now. On top of that, like then you could customize it too. Like that, how fucking awesome would that be? You get in the car and it's like, oh, I don't really like the standard, you know, like, you know, empty to full gas meter. Like, oh, I want like a battery charger. You mean, you know, that shows like, oh, you know, like, you know, the juice is only at this level. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like you could then customize it to whatever you want to be your experience.
Yeah. The world literally becomes your playground once we get to a certain point. Like you just overlay anything you want there.
But see,
you know,
that's
it's obviously all fake
dope,
in VR,
dude.
but I mean, if
VR
is good enough, I think at some point your brain isn't able to distinguish the real from the unreal. Like I watched a video by a guy, his name I think is Throw Seeker, but he was doing one headset where he said it was so weird, like he was touching this mannequin body and he could like all of a sudden his brain like interpreted that there was heat coming off this body, and because it looked so like real that his brain just started piecing together I don't know. He said it was the weirdest experience he had ever from the first time he put on a VR headset, and he got that initial feeling because that first time you put on a VR headset, like a good one, and you actually see VR for where it is at today, it blows your mind. It blows your freaking mind.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then the second, you know, and then it's hard to ever get that feeling again. You're just like, oh, this is cool, but it's, you know, it's VR.
I remember when I think the very first Oculus ever came out, ever.
Like for the mobile phone or for the, or you mean like the Oculus Quest 1?
The headset. Yeah. The Quest 1. Yep. I remember I was in the mall, and again, I was, you know, I didn't have no money or anything like that. But there was like a stand in the mall that was like, you know, stopping people, you know, to try it on, you know what I mean? And getting like the reviews, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, and checking it out and stuff like that. And I remember I shoot myself in the foot for not doing it. I remember then, you know what I mean? Like just thinking of it as, you know, like just another, you know, money scam. I mean, you know, think of it as another, you know, cash grab. You know, all these guys just built fucking goggles. You mean, you know, with like a screen on it. Oh, that's, you know, that's probably stupid. You mean, you know, or you know, you walk by and you see them, you know, like 2 or 3 people, you know, randomly trying it on. You know, walked over to them and, you know, fell for it. They put it on, and you see them like, you know, oh my gosh, you know, like jumping or something on it, and you just think like, oh, they're just fucking faking it. Like, come on, they know they're in the mall. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? But then like fast forward, you know, 10 years, 12 years, you know, from then, you know what I mean? You know, till now, you know what I mean? And it's just like, holy shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, this is an actual fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like this is, you know, this is like way crazy, you know? I don't know. It's just,
I don't think people realize where the Quest 2 really was a marvelous feat. Just to give it, like, I don't think people realize, like, unless you've done VR, I don't think people realize where the tech's at, like you said, where it's come in the last 10 years. Because like, for example, this last Sunday, I took my Quest over to my parents' house. We have family dinner there every Sunday. And I took it over there and loaded up Beat Saber and was letting all the nieces and nephews go through it. You know, they were each like doing a song. And then like I had like my brother-in-law and stuff played it, my sisters, my mom. It blew everybody's mind. They're like, holy cows, this is the coolest thing ever. They're like, you're like standing there and it's like, you're in this world. I'm like, yeah, man. Like it's fucking, I mean, like my brother-in-law, he was like,
listen,
crazy.
But you know what's hilarious though? The funniest part is to them, it's fucking amazing, right?
Oh,
like to you who's been fucking with this for how many years now, like you're sitting there thinking like, yeah, I know it's cool, and then they're like, no, bro, it's fucking amazing, you know what I mean? And you're like, yeah, I know. They're like, no, dude, you're not getting it, man. It's fucking revolutionary. You know, it's just funny because like that's how it is. Like you said, like until you actually are in anything, again, I can't attest because I don't own one, and I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now.
If you've done any of the ones with mobile phones or anything,
I'm going to buy the 3. I think I'm going to buy the 3. I'm telling you.
Well, I don't think it comes out to the end of 2022, so you'll be waiting a little while. But I think it'll be a pretty big. The Quest 2 was a big leap. I think the Quest 3 will be another big leap because again,
do you think the Quest is the place to go? Meaning like, or do you think it would be better to go with one of those higher end companies that?
I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. There's going to be people already, like if anybody listens to this, there's going to be people in the comments getting upset. There's a lot of people that don't like Oculus because number one, it's not even called the Oculus Quest anymore. They rebranded. It's now called the Meta Quest. I don't know if you know that,
No,
but it's now called.
But I know that it is owned by Facebook.
Yeah. So, and you have
or
to have
or
it,
Meta, a Meta. It's owned by Meta.
It's owned by Meta, and it is now called the Meta Quest 2. They officially did the rebranding just like a week or two ago, and they actually changed all their Twitter handles and everything. But anyways, so you have to have a Facebook account. They're going to track you just like they do for everything. Probably there's a lot of people upset about that when Oculus sold, and then they required you to have, because originally they said they would not require you to have a Facebook account. You could keep and then they changed, they backpedaled on all this shit.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that have a sour taste. But here's why I say it. Number one, the bang for the buck. All you're going to get out of something like the higher end models is a little bit better quality in terms of resolution and optics. The optics are going to be a little bit better. I think the Quest 3 is going to solve the optics of that. I think you're going to have the same kind of optics. And here's the thing. My Quest, I can hook it up to my computer, not just with a cable. I can also hook it up wirelessly to my computer using Airlink and completely play all my PC VR games, whether that's on Steam that I buy them on or the Oculus store. So in the better graphics, where my actual main graphic computer is processing all the graphics, so giving me better visuals, more graphics, I can do that. But I can also just not and take it anywhere I want to go and have a complete standalone VR headset that still looks really fucking good. Right. I don't have to have a computer. You don't have to have a computer at all to enjoy the Quest.
Which
you can do both.
Right.
And so that's
and not only that, I think that's a little bit. Well, and not only that, I think with that advantage, I think that gives it a little bit more easier to digest from all different areas, meaning from, again, you mentioned your nieces and nephews all the way up to your grandparents, whoever. I think it's a little bit easier to digest a device like that versus a device where it's oh, you got to have this high-end PC, you got to have this high-end shit, you got to be,
and you had all these cables all over you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was VR just 2 years ago. You still had to have all these cables hooked up to it, to a computer,
so it can monitor your entire body.
And now the thing is, even that, everybody's oh, higher optics, the speeds, but now the Quest 2, it has it can operate on 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band, which is, I forget, but the max of the Quest 2 is 1200 megabits per second or whatever. Well, the next Quest that comes out is going to be Wi-Fi 6. So you have a Wi-Fi 6 router. Most people are going to upgrade over the years, get Wi-Fi 6 router. Dude, the quality that you're going to be able to stream it wirelessly from is going to be amazing with Wi-Fi 6, because the speeds are they're so much faster on Wi-Fi 6 versus 5 gigahertz.
Right.
So yeah, it's going to be, I just think the Quest 3 is really going to be a huge leap in the optics, the quality, and it already has everything else. That's all that I would say it's lacking versus the higher models. You don't need all the higher models. They got the tracking. You got to put the tracking cameras. Facebook's made it work, man. You don't need all that. I have hand tracking. I have I don't have full body tracking yet. You don't have feet tracking and stuff. But that's what I'm saying. Give them Quest 3, dude. I think you'll have full body tracking without the need for any external sensors. Just the sensors built into the headset, which is going to be huge.
Oh, that's going to be huge. Oh yeah,
huge.
Can you imagine if they develop it in a sense where, where it can track every little tiny movement? Imagine me standing next to you, right? And then all of a sudden you blink your eye, it's your avatar in the game's blinking their eyes. You know what I mean? The entire time. You know what I mean? Or you're breathing. You know what I mean? And just your movement of breathing shows up on your avatar in the game. So it literally at that moment, that would be fucking wild to be able to see that traction. And I do think
there is some of that already. I think eye tracking already exists. So your avatar does. I think there's a camera in the Quest 2. I might be getting this part wrong. I know some headsets have a camera inside that's looking at your face, and it does track your eyes and stuff. And if that's implemented in the game, I think VR chat has it implemented where your character will blink their eyes when you blink your eyes. Now,
imagine
the guys talking about, not there yet, but
imagine
it's definitely coming.
Imagine the people that are socially awkward. That they can't, you know what I mean? They can't look at somebody talking. So instead of their VR focusing on that person and while they're talking, right? It's translating what their face is doing. So they're like, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah. And it's
well, I mean, the look, the tilting of the head and stuff would already happen in VR.
Right.
Because if you move your head like this, your character in game is going to move their head to the side like this. That already exists. the fine-tuned stuff, like the eye tracking, blinking and stuff. I think that's
the breathing, the nose twitch, the facial expressions. Yep.
That's stuff that's coming down the line. Again, it exists in some forms. I think the eye, anyways. I know there's eye tracking in some headsets. I don't know how that translates to games and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, so I do think all that's coming. But yeah, and then I mean, like, to top it all off, like, you're talking about a product that does all of this, $299.
Yeah, that's dirt cheap.
Sub $300 for a full standalone. You don't need a computer and you're in VR, but you can also hook it to a computer and play, like, if you have a high-end PC, and get way better graphics, way better processing power for your headset.
Yeah, man, that's wild, dude. That's crazy. I mean, that's insane. Like I said, I mean, I regret not getting in, not trying it out and seeing it develop over the years. You mean, because I do think that there is a lot of value in that, to see that progression, like I've been playing games, since the Sega, so like, I've seen that progression, right? I've seen how we came with like gaming and consoles and PCs and stuff. but I mean, I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be really, really cool. The only experience, like I said, that I've ever had was like, I think it was on my brother's, like a fucking Samsung,
the Gear VRs.
Yeah. It was like a Samsung 7 or something, I think is what it was, like phone, the big fucking wide circle phone. You mean, and you like, it was a headset, goggles, but you like put the phone on the end, you know what I mean? And then like, and then you could play like an app, you open up the app or whatever, and it would have some sort of VR, but it just wasn't VR. I mean, it was VR, but it wasn't to me. Like I wasn't immersed. Right, exactly. Environments. There you go. That's the better way of putting it. Yeah.
Because like the first one I had, like, to move, you had to touch the side of the thing. There was like a D-pad on the side of the helmet, I think. Okay. And like you could look around, but like to move around, like there was no buttons, there was no controllers. You just like there was like a D-pad and like a select button in the middle of the D-pad, and that was how you did stuff. Then the second one came out, it had one little controller that didn't track very well, had a couple buttons on it. I think had a D-pad and 2 buttons on it or something. I don't remember. That was like the second iteration of the Gear VR. Then you had the Quest come out, because I think those were made by Oculus as well. Those Gear VRs from Samsung.
Were they?
Those were the early versions. Because what the Quest is it's honestly, it's a mobile phone. It's a mobile phone. Like it's running on Android. It's custom. I mean, it's not, you don't turn it on and it's not like a phone.
Right.
But it's running off. Like you can install any Android APK. Like you can install Cookie Run Kingdom on the Oculus Quest 2 and play it in 2D. It won't be in 3D, but you can just have it up on a screen and play it as like an app in your house, sitting in your house in VR, and have Cookie Run Kingdom right there playing it. Like you could totally do that. You can load up and you can have Discord open in Oculus Quest. Like,
dude, listen, that's my goal. Listen, that's my goal.
Android APK.
Listen, my goal for 2023, dude. That's my goal. I'm gonna have the Quest 3. I'm gonna have the Quest 3 sitting on my fucking virtual couch and everything, or whatever I have set up on live stream. And what they're gonna see is me, right? Sitting wherever the fuck I'm sitting, but sitting there playing Cookie Run Kingdom. Playing a 2D game in a 3D world while the real world watches me play it. It's exactly what I'm gonna do. And then people are gonna be like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, and then all of a sudden I'm just gonna be like, oh dude, I feel like a soda. Have a fake ass soda, and people are like, what? Like, how did he just pop a soda out? Oh, he's in
Let
VR.
Me ask you this.
Oh, he's
talking about like, have you watched any of like Code Miko? Do you know who Code Miko is?
No.
So Code Miko is a streamer on Twitch. You should look her up sometime. Anybody else too that's interested in some of this stuff. And her whole person, she wears track and stuff. Her whole character on stream is an avatar in the game. Like she's an avatar in the, like, that blinks, that does everything, that mouth moves. Like she's basically doing what you're describing. Like when people are watching her, that's basically what they're watching. They're watching her avatar playing games and doing stuff, and it's all tracked. Her mouth, it's pretty crazy. It doesn't sound as cool trying to explain it because it's kind of hard to explain.
No, I get what you're saying. I've seen a couple of them. Really are there, I guess what I would ask you is, are there price points and you get what you pay for?
Yes. So what you're seeing is like people that get like the little avatars, and I've seen some avatars
where it's like this, where the person is talking and they've got a perfect voice through like a mic, but then their avatar is constantly going.
Yes, very much. Like this girl's on the cutting edge of that technology. So is it still perfect? No. I mean, again, we're still in, but like it shows you what's gonna be possible with your avatars, like nose twitches, eye things.
But so, but you
might not be in the VR right
but I'm asking
now.
you, there's a difference between the one I'm just explaining and then this person.
And this
okay.
one. Yes,
okay.
100%. 100%.
So has she ever has this person ever showed her
it gets totally weird because you'll see her on her stream too sometimes wearing all this gear in real life.
So she shows both sides of it. Okay, very cool.
Yes, on her streams and stuff. When she's streaming, I think she's her avid, but she does stream. I get what you're saying. You're showing her like they're like dev streams. But yes, you see both sides of it, and it's very weird. Like it gets very weird. Like she interviews other Twitch streamers and like it's them, but then she's her avatar when she's interviewing them. It gets weird. Like, but she's their avatar in their space with them. So she's at their house sitting on the couch, their couch, because she can impose her avatar wherever.
What?
Well, because it's just an avatar. She can put that at, like it's like a green screen. Like if I green screen myself out, I can put myself in anything.
Dude, that's fucking.
Her avatar is basically a green screened person. She can put it anywhere. She can make it sit down anywhere. She can make it.
But she's skipping the green screen part, and it's actually a digital avatar.
Right. But
meaning like when you lift your arm up and you get the screen tear, and I see the green screen, from that you don't have that with her.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
That's wild, dude. So essentially, dude, that's crazy. Yeah. That's like mind-blowing.
And again, I do want to preface, I'm not an expert in any of this stuff. So if I'm getting like a little things wrong here or there, but overall, yes, like that's my understanding of it. That's what I've seen from the stuff I've looked at of hers. And that's where I see the technology going just from everything I've seen. But it's very, very, very cool. I mean, honestly, I am a huge proponent of it. Now that I put about $100, and it was about $100 of upgrades, so I got about $400 in my system. With those upgrades, the for comfortability, the Quest 2 is amazing, dude.
Let me ask you this: the upgrades that you put into it, are they Oculus or are they third party?
They're third party.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So I upgraded. I got the headsets by Kiwi, the faceplates by Kiwi, and then actually my battery pack is just I already had an Anchor 10,000 milliamp, the Anchor, the brand, they make a lot of digital stuff. I use their chargers, cords, a lot of stuff. They're a pretty popular brand. I already had a 10,000 milliamp like Anchor battery pack. I just zip tied it to the back of the headset
just to add the weight. Yep.
Well, and to add so that because the Oculus Quest 2 will give you about 2 hours on battery before it's dead.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So if you're doing higher, like connected to air, to your PC wirelessly, you might only get an hour out of it. With the battery pack, I've not been able to kill it yet.
Which again, that makes sense. I mean, that's with anything. I mean, even your high-end cameras. You get to a point where our technology is advancing before our batteries are advancing. Do you know what I mean? Or the item is, small to the point to where, you just can't put a fucking, a battery that's going to last you 24 hours into it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I get what you're saying. That's that leap in technology. We've got something fantastic, but yet it can only last so long. I mean, that's why our fucking phones, sit here, but then they die, in a day or so, or, whatever. You have to charge the damn thing.
Yeah. And if you're doing something like playing a game, a couple hours,
way faster. Right. Exactly.
Because it's then process and shit. And yeah. So again, I've only been hardcore in VR for about a month now. I've messed with it. Like I said, but always it was the same. They were gimmicky. I used them for I tried them out, tried a couple apps out, put them away, never touched them again.
Right.
This is the first VR where I'm really okay, this is VR. This is VR. And I know there's been other headsets like the Vive, HTC Vive and stuff, and the Oculus Rift, which is the PC version. Those have been out for a while, and they've probably already given this effect in those headsets. It's too inaccessible, man. I didn't want to buy $1,000 VR headset to plug into a $3,000 PC to play VR. Whereas now, like I said, $299. You don't even need a PC. And I'm telling you, it still looks fucking good.
Yeah,
looks good. I have zero issues playing any VR game on just the Quest VR. Is the nicer graphics from a better computer? Because I have a high-end computer. Is that nice? Yeah. But do you need it? Nope. You'll still be completely immersed.
Right. But it's the same thing. I mean, that's the same thing when you talk about and discuss like graphics, better graphics and quality, like when it comes to running a game on a console. I mean, like at the end of the day, if a game is that's why developers now struggle. Like if they built a game strategically for that console, you're never gonna miss the graphics. You know what I mean? Like, like that's the beauty of a console. You know what I mean? As they're building the graphics for that. Imagine when you were playing Pokemon, back in the day on a Game Boy, right? Like, sure, you saw better graphics on, a PlayStation 2 or something, in something, but you never made that correlation because you're playing on, you're playing on that device. And that's what that was built for. You know what I mean? It's the same principle here. The games that are probably built for the Oculus, for instance, are designed for what the Oculus can handle. You know what I mean? So it's not like, you're getting that experience of, oh man, you know what I mean? Like, this looks shitty. You know what I mean? Like you're not getting that. You mean, you're experiencing it for what it is and how it's built. And then sure, when the next version comes out, it's going to be better. And you're going to probably compare the two, you know what I mean? Like, and then you're going to be like, oh my God, this is like, way better, which again, just like everything else.
And the crazy thing is like the other thing, like I was watching a video the other day and like talking about that, like, yes, but also ultra realistic environments are coming and they're not going to take the graphic resources we thought. You'll be able to get them out of something like the Quest 2 that's running on Android chips and stuff, because they're doing like this weird, I don't even know how to explain it, but there's this method that they're doing now. I forget the name of the app. They're using, like, you can go to these places and it already on the Quest 2, you can go to these, like you can walk down a Hong Kong alley and it looks ultra realistic, like real life, because of somehow the way they're doing this image processing. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Again, I watched a video on it.
Could you imagine plugging into a live feed? Could you imagine that?
Well, I don't know if you know, like even like, so like Google Earth is on, like, so you can like go to somewhere in Google Earth and like where you like, like you see
I know,
the pyramids or anything, and you can see it.
You could bring your character. But what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is like, for instance, and again, I don't know why the fuck this came up, but like going back to Hollister, when you walk into a Hollister store, they've always got like a live feed of like Cocoa Beach or some fucking beach, right? Like Hollister Beach or whatever, there, like on like just a video. All it is it's a live stream of a camera on that beach, right? Like that's all it is, nothing else. But what I'm saying is, imagine taking that same ideology and let's just say the Great Wall of China, right? They've got a live feed, you know what I mean? Like of like, one direction or, a 360, fucking put a 360 live cam, of the Great Wall of China, right? Like, just somewhere on it or multiple points on it, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine being able to be on your VR, right? Click a button and then boom, you're seeing that live feed, you know what I mean? But it's you. So like, you can like walk around and move. Other people there can't see you, obviously, because, you're in the digital space. But imagine like how fucking cool that would be. You know what I mean? For you to be able to see it, like just
that's what that already exists. You don't need a live feed. It's already in that you can just go to the Great Wall and walk around it and look at it.
Right, but it's not live. The beauty of live would be is that then shit would be happening around you. In that moment. I'm saying,
but
like,
you would only be able to go as far as the camera would look.
Right, correct. That's what I'm saying.
That's
what
I'm saying. But
yeah, well, if you wanted to do the full thing, but I'm saying like even just to start, I'm saying having one camera, one 360 camera or whatever, just in one area. You know what I mean? Like like I said, or maybe like just having like a Niagara Falls one, right? Like that just is positioned perfectly to where you can walk, the one little balcony, over top of the, the Niagara Falls, you know what I mean? So you can see it, right? The cool fucking part though, how fucking awesome would that be? Like that's all the app would do. You mean all it would be a whole bunch of different live feeds from all different, like, different walks on Earth or whatever, of 360 cams. All you do is you just load up your VR. You load into however it works. I don't know. I'm just making this shit up, but you click on something, you know what I mean? And then you got all the options. You're like, okay, I want to go to Niagara Falls. Boom, you hit the button. It just literally loads you into that fucking 360, live feed camera. Sure, you can't walk, sure, you get to the edge, maybe it bubbles out. Maybe you get to the edge, and it's just a fucking hard cut line, whatever it is. But I'm still saying it would be insane. Like, you would be live there, but not there. You would fucking be where you are, which would be crazy cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know that it would matter. I almost think that it would just like, you could fake it being live and it would be good enough for people.
Well, yeah, which could be, but
and I think the amount of effort it would take to actually do it live wouldn't make sense, because like what would be the point? You can't interact with those people.
Right, but you would be able to experience stuff without having to like go there. Like, so to give you an example, like a parade or like Mardi Gras, you'd be able to attend Mardi Gras at a spot with it actually live going through. It doesn't matter if they can see you or not. You're experiencing the event just like a person is next to you.
So for events, right? Well, that would be a little different events. But
right,
I'm saying like Niagara Falls, I don't know what live gives you that.
Yeah, but like, dude, there's a whole world that enjoys that shit. There's people that just look at real live cameras all the time, and they can't even go there. They just sit there and watch them. Like there's like subreddits and subreddits on Reddit that all people do is they have a camera set up all fucking day long of it, like looking on the streets of Barcelona, and it's like out a fucking window, and that's all it is. And then it's like street signs going off, cars blaring their horns, that's all it is for like 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day. Like a person sets up their camera, does whatever they're doing all day long. You don't see the person at all. It's just a still camera of a live feed. Yeah. I'm telling you, people would eat that shit up. Now, it might not be something that, maybe you would be interested or I would be interested. I'm just saying, I think it'd be cool as shit to like, if I never could go to Barcelona, Spain, like it would be badass. For me to just open up the fucking app and one day, have, 2 hours to kill or whatever and I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking go for an experience, put the shit on, and I could just be like, hit up 3 different fucking, 360 cams, that are live feeds from Barcelona, Spain. I just click on it. Boom. I'm there. I can't interact with people, I think that'd be a fucking really cool step too. But, obviously I can't interact with anybody and they can't see me, but it's still fucking cool that I'd be able to like walk around, and look at stuff just like another person would. See a kid running down the street. I could fucking, be looking at things.
But you don't need live for that to happen.
But why wouldn't I?
What do you mean? But why just have that? Like now you can already load up 360 cameras in Barcelona and look around. You can already do that. It's just not live.
Right.
So my thing is you could just add those people and stuff into it. I just might not like, I'm just saying, I guess I just don't care about live. And I guess I don't understand why people would. I guess I'm not saying that there isn't people. I'm sure there's plenty of people. That
I think the live aspect, like you said, it'd be more appealing for events. It definitely would, because you would be able to.
Well, even like Mardi Gras, you can like you can watch any of the Mardi Gras in 360. Like it just isn't live. You're going to watch it a day or two after.
Yeah. But that would suck balls for events. Nobody's watching Mardi Gras, fucking days later. Like if you want to participate in it, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like, you just don't get it. I guess you're not alive. You don't give a fuck. You don't care. That's the problem. That's the problem.
I just don't.
Like, it's not.
I just think I think we can fake it so well that it doesn't need to be live. I care about the live feeling. I just think you're stuck on the.
No, but you want it to be there when it but you want it to be there when it happens. Like nobody, like I'm not saying nobody's not watching the Super Bowl days later, but I'm saying you want to watch the Super Bowl at the time you're watching the Super Bowl, whether you really care.
Again, I said for events it would make sense.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
The first couple things like the Wall of China,
yeah. I guess I get that. You could experience
waterfalls. I don't know why you need any of that live.
Yeah, I guess I get it, but at the same time, I still think nothing's better than live. I don't think fake would ever be better, because why would you ever come back? You've already experienced the one fake experience once. It'd be the exact same shit. You'd go back there and it'd be the same fucking kid running bass that already did it the first time. The same bike coming through.
You could change.
You'd have somebody constantly changing it. That's fucking ridiculous.
You could have it random all the time.
I guess, but that's a lot of fucking people. Yeah, but why wouldn't you just set it live?
Sure you can, because I'm saying I think the cost and to
just run a camera full time would be probably way cheaper than it would be to have somebody to constantly cycle that shit out and put up new footage.
Nope, it would be it wouldn't. It'd be way more expensive.
How?
You're dealing with, because you have to deal with the cameras breaking. You got to deal with not only live, but you had to deal with the bandwidth, the streaming of that. So that camera has to go to a PC that's there on location. It can't go to. There has to be something there that's doing the streaming of it. So you got to build a whole outfit to do that. Like it's not just a camera on a stick.
Yeah,
camera by itself on a stick isn't gonna.
Yeah, but
anything.
Right, but that would be no different than what we have set up now. I mean, you would have a fucking post with a machine inside of it that would have the big ultra camera on the top that would just be there. And then sure, it's technology. If something was to fail, you'd have to send a fucking person out there to fix whatever it is and call it a day. But I feel like there'd be no maintenance, like beyond if something was to happen. But like, you're talking what, once a month? I mean, like, if something was to really actually fail, I mean, and maybe what you do is you just do routine maintenance. You mean where you'd have once a month or once every couple months, you'd have one fucking person, to go out there and check on the camera, rotate a thing or change out a part or whatever, and then call it a day. It'd be like fucking setting up a vending machine. You know what I mean? I mean, it would just do its thing. And then I don't know. I get what you're saying, but I do agree. I think events would be cool.
The problem is though with even like cameras, then like I said, like even like the Mardi Gras, I mean, you'd be sitting at one area, you'd be watching, which I guess would be cool. But my thought is like, if I'm gonna jump in VR and go to Niagara Falls, I want to be able to walk wherever I want to walk in Niagara Falls, just like as if I was there.
I agree.
I wouldn't be able to do that with a camera.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I understand that. I'm just saying, like, this would be entry level. This would be like, a next step. Like, that I'm saying that could be in the process of saying, like, we'd start off with cameras. Sure. Okay. Maybe it moves to, like you said, Google Earth or something. It moves to satellites. It moves to something, where it would then all be live without having to have, a limitation, on where you're going or some sort of tether, where you can only go so far. Like, I agree with that. But going back to the events thing, I don't know, man. I almost feel like I could see, speaking of money and greed, I could almost see it turning into virtual passes, meaning like, imagine like a concert in, I don't fucking know, like, Deadmau5, right? Like, has a concert in England, right? And you're here in America, like watching a live video sitting at your computer isn't the same, as being in a 3D, live portion of the show. Like you'd be able to pay for a ticket price, right? It'd be less than what it would be to, be there in person, right? But essentially you're in, your 3D space and you would be able to be there. You could see everybody moving around, actions, going on, people hype up, jumping down, mosh pit start, whatever it is, but you're at home. I mean, I think that's kind of like that alternate.
But what if that just happens in VR instead of, what if the concert's just in VR?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's you could do that too. I'm talking about this could be the transition between both is what I'm saying. Yeah, you're saying you could have a concert there, but everybody has to be in VR to attend the concert. This would be a blend of two realms. You'd have people in real life who want to be there in person, and then people also in VR can be there from around the world at the exact same blend. If you're in VR, everybody has to have VR. If you don't have VR, you can't attend the concert. You see what I'm saying? Like that. Yeah. I was just talking about augmented. I was talking about the blend between two realms.
Yeah, I mean that's cool, I guess.
I don't know. You just don't seem to be interested in that for some reason, which actually kind of surprises me.
I'm not. I don't know. I've no. I mean, if I want to go see something in real life, I just go see it. Like if I wanted to see Niagara Falls, I went to Niagara Falls.
I know, but
California Route 1.
I know, but you have to understand the idea that not everybody can do that.
Oh,
you have to understand that. Like there's gonna be at some point in time where not everybody can do that.
I guess. You don't. But I just don't. No, sure. But I just don't know what it needs to be live for, I guess is the only thing I don't get. I get all the other stuff. I just don't get. My thought is this. My thought is more Matrix style. I guess my thought is we all go into VR forever anyway. So there won't be real world. There will be real world, but we won't ever actually be in real world. We'll be in Matrix world.
Yeah.
Which will be modeled after real world, which will probably still have all the stuff that's in the real world, like the waterfalls, the pyramids, everything. But you can just teleport there instantly and be there. And
yeah, I agree with you.
But it's just like,
but you're talking light years ahead. I'm talking about like I was going step by step. I'm saying like where our technology is now.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm saying like it would be cool to have this and this and this and this. And you're jumping like, oh nah, fuck all that stuff. I want to just be able to just teleport there and jump. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I would think that's fucking awesome. And everybody wants that, but it's like we're nowhere even close to that. Like we can't teleport. There's no fucking way we can teleport.
In VR,
we can't even time travel.
I'm talking about in VR.
In VR.
But that's what I'm saying, a full VR world.
Right. But do you think a VR world would ever be as good as real life?
Yes, better.
It can't be.
Yes, 100%.
You can't feel in VR.
Yeah, yes, you can.
No, you can't.
There's already vests and stuff you can wear that if you get shot.
Feel?
There's already vests and stuff that exist and gloves out there that have motors and stuff that have haptic feedback.
Okay, I'm not saying that doesn't exist. I'm saying, but you can't tell me that wearing that stuff would feel the same as another human touching you interaction.
Once we go to stimulation of the brain directly, yes, 100%.
Okay, well that's okay, all right, whatever. We're fighting two different battles. You're talking
we're not. I'm not fighting any battle. I get everything you're saying. I'm just not excited about it, and that's bothering you, so you're trying to keep explaining it to me.
It's not that it's exciting about it. I'm trying to understand that like there is a reality. I think you're already like subconsciously plugging yourself into this VR realm that doesn't exist right now. It doesn't I get that. I understand, like that would be fucking awesome. I would love to plug into a VR headset and never have to turn it off. I'd love to be in Sword Art Online forever. That would be fantastic. But I'm saying like there has to be that humanity side that is going to be very, very hard to beat. And I do agree with you. When that time comes, sure, when we can plug fucking neurological into our fucking brain, we're like we don't know the difference because psychologically we can't know the difference. That makes sense. But I'm talking about like right now, even if you were to go attend something in VR, it's never fucking going to be able to compare right now as it would be in real life. No matter even if they play the same fucking songs, you can't feel the music. You can't, there's like, it's just a different experience when you're able to, sit there and clash actual fucking cups together and handshake people. You mean, and fucking, wipe the tears from somebody's actual eyes. You can't do that in a virtual realm. You can do that in virtual, but it's not going to be the same. You can't feel that fucking water on that tear. You can't feel, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to,
I think that stuff's coming a lot quicker than you realize.
Which could be the case, I guess. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying like that's where I'm at with it. I think that, I like the idea of VR. Like this fucking MMO is fucking awesome, being able to control things with your hands and everything like that. The day that I start seeing the neurological plugging, things
Neuralink,
where, that kind of stuff. Like when that stuff starts coming out and it starts becoming, again, blending that line of reality versus VR, then 100%. I think that we would be able to make that.
I think people underestimate how much the brain fills in stuff.
You mean like the trickery, like you're saying like you'd be able to,
I think and that could feel a lot more real than you realize it without it. Without I don't think the technology actually needs to be where we would think the technology needs to be for that stuff to work. Right. I don't think we need to be anywhere near that. I think it'll happen a lot sooner and quicker. And I guess my thought is I see it so close on the horizon that I'm like, why waste resources on doing it any other way? Why not just put more resources towards getting there faster?
Yeah, and I get that. And I would understand that. I think I just don't think that I've experienced that. I mean, I have it. I don't think that I'm probably one of those people that you're referring to, but like, I don't think that I have mentally accepted or understood, that could be possible. I think I'm still at the point now where it's like humanity, humans, and then, in tech. I don't know if I've actually seen or felt that line cross.
And I'm not saying, I don't know that we ever, I don't even know that humanity, I don't know that humanity ever decides to fully go VR. I don't know that we ever, like you say, like, oh, if I could plug in and never leave. Would you really? I don't know.
Yeah, I would 100%.
I don't know if I would. I mean, I like the real world. I do a lot. Like, like I just said, I've been to Niagara Falls. I traveled to Key West. I've done road trips. I like the real world, especially our generation. Let's say it was to happen our generation where we know that there's a real world. Like we weren't born into it or something. I don't know if I could be okay with a virtual hug for my son the rest of my life. Even if I know it doesn't feel any different, I have the knowledge that it exists somewhere else. So I don't know. I don't know that we would. I just don't know that we would ever choose that 100%. I don't know that we would.
No. See the thing for me though is
I'm not saying we wouldn't spend most of our day in it. That we wouldn't spend that our day wouldn't become 10, 12 hours a day in this digital world. And then, we unplug and maybe, chat with family for a little bit or whatever, hug, kiss.
See, I don't know. See, I don't know. See, that'd be fucking hard, man. I don't know. I think right now today, if somebody was to come to me and somehow have a fucking way for me to
like Matrix style, where you have no idea that
to
it's not the real way.
to absorb myself into fucking technology or to this fucking fantasy world and live that fantasy life, I think I'd fucking do it in a heartbeat. 100%. I think I would. And again, I think it's just because I just long for something like that. I don't know why, but I've always thought that would be cool as shit. Like, I'm even at the point, I'm even fucking more extreme. Like, we'll just get really deep here. Like, I'm at the point now where, like, if the world turned to a fucking American wasteland tomorrow, I don't think that I would be upset about that. Like, if everything in my life completely shifted, like we had no fucking government, no fucking money, like people just raiding people, fucking killing people, like I feel like I would find solace in that at some point. I don't know why. It sounds weird, doesn't it though? Like, I don't know.
It doesn't sound weird. I think that's actually a normal thought a lot of people in today's culture have. And I think that's because we don't no longer get what humans got in the past. So our brains aren't getting that fear that humans had to have in the past of watching out for wild animals and watching out. We live in a pretty safe world nowadays, believe it or not. We have things like school shootings and people, but overall, we live nowhere near the danger levels that our ancestors have. And I think that actually affects people. And I think people long for that. But I will say, I think if that actually happened, I think people would very quickly change their tune personally.
I think
it's
right.
like that like longing after something that you don't like. But if it actually came, I don't think people would want it.
And you're probably right on that. It's
like
I don't know what it is. I've always been
this apocalyptic, like
well,
all
and
of humanity,
and it doesn't have to be apocalyptic. Like I'm saying, like in terms of like I have just thought about this so much, like in my life in general, is like, it'd be fucking awesome. To go back to, I don't know, like the 1800s, or, the 1700s, where like, just in my mind, I just think like, oh, like it'd be a simpler time. You'd have all this stuff like that you would do every day. And these, these chores, you do this stuff, I don't know why I feel like it would be just cool. Like, I don't know. Same thing with like, going back to swords and shields, for war, versus, like guns and, fucking AR-15, like I don't know, like it's just, again, it's just something that I feel like if I was offered that, if somebody was to say, like, hey, I can suck you into this fucking game, straight like, Jumanji style or something, if I can do this, like, I don't know if I would say no. Like, I think I would, maybe I would regret it, sure, maybe later after, but it's like, I feel like I would be one of those people that would be like, yeah, can I take my son and wife with me? Yeah, I can. All right, yeah, fuck it, leave the world, see you later. Like, I'd fucking be gone.
Yeah, and then when you guys are dying by a sword and the shield at but average lifespan of 30 to 40 years old in the 1800s. I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't say I wouldn't regret it, I'm not saying I wouldn't regret it.
You want to be able to play Cookie Run Kingdom in 2D in a 3D environment while people are watching you in a 2D environment.
But would I care? That's the question. Like, that's the problem. I get you're saying that you would regret it, but like,
I think it's romanticism.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I wouldn't know. Like, I wouldn't know. Like, if that happened, who says I keep my memory? Like, who says that I understand that
well, if you're talking about then, yeah, like people were happy back then. So sure, would you still be happy? Sure. If you had no memory of this, would you be happy? Sure. Most people are happy.
Right.
But that's just because most people are happy. It's not because it was a simpler time. It's just because most people are happy.
No, I know that, but I'm saying if you had to make that decision, that's what I'm saying. You have the only thing is the one time you get to make the decision to do that. Are you going to upload into Sword Art Online, basically, you and your family in that realm for the rest of your life? Are you making that decision or not? I'm not saying when you get there, you're going to fucking remember your entire life, what it used to be. No, like you're getting in there. That's your wife. This is your son in whatever fucking universe that you're plugging into. Why
wouldn't you keep your memory?
Why would you? But because then you'd deal with the shit you're dealing with now, where you would know something that you already knew that would exist before that you would want to go back to or could potentially go back to. So then you'd have the guilt and the regret and everything else. You wouldn't have.
Because again, I don't know why you like if you want to leave Sword Art Online, like we don't need to make it like the movie. If you want to leave Sword Art Online, we'll let you log out. Just log out if you regret it. Just leave.
But that's my point. You're not plugging full in though. I'm saying you are becoming
why do you have to
world.
Why do you have to plug in full time? Is my point.
No, you don't have to. I'm
like,
just,
why do we think
that
it's
was my
like this
suggestion.
all or the other, like this Matrix style or Sword Art Online style? Like I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. I don't know that humans decide to plug in full time. And if they do, maybe they plug in for full time for 2 months and then decide they want to unplug for a month. I mean, like that, like I don't know, like why
I know, but
gotta...
I just don't know. I just don't know if the world would be able to handle.
Here's what I think is more freaky. I think that the digital world becomes a better version of the real world and nobody wants to leave. Is what happens.
Well, that would,
like, I think we get to a point where the earth is the earth. Like you're in VR, you're on earth, just like in real life. And all the people that are in VR walking around, it's live earth.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
And it looks like live, it looks like real. But then you can also teleport to Mars.
Yeah, but where's the governance from in that though?
Oh, it all exists just like it exists now.
So they would have like elective officials, and you'd have, you'd have some
areas.
Sort of...
But you could also have your own area where there's no law.
Right, but my question is,
you can have your own world.
Right, but so then how would you prevent digital crime?
Digital crime, like what? Like killing somebody?
Yeah, they
just respawn.
Yeah, but you ever seen Gun Gale online, and you've got Death Gun, and he fucking shoots a person in the digital world and it kills him in their fucking VR headset?
That's not gonna...
What do you mean it isn't gonna happen? We got people hacking crypto wallets that claim to be fucking uncrackable. Come on.
They are uncrackable.
They're not uncrackable.
Yeah. They're not.
I saw a YouTube video that said a guy cracked a hard wallet for 2 million.
Not like that. Not like that. Not like that. The way that they're getting cracked is people, they're getting social engineered cracked, meaning people like dumbasses are giving up their security keys and stuff. Or it's this one I watched was a hard wallet. He found a hard wallet and cracked a hard wallet USB. He's cracking the password. Sure. He's not cracking he cracked just like your computer. A computer, you can crack you can run a brute force. And
so you're saying at the end of the day, it does resort down to a dumbass's password being not strong enough.
Yes, 100%. Or them giving up their security phrase. They got their 12 fucking word seed for their crypto wallet stored on their OneDrive or their Google Drive, and that gets hacked. And then boom, somebody's got your 12-word seed, which gives them access to all your shit. Like, yeah, it's dumbass shit like that. Or you write it down in real world and somebody comes in your house and gets into your safe and steals it, and they got, like, there's still that stuff that happens. But the actual technology, like, you cannot hack the Bitcoin network.
Which would make sense. But now what about, so then, yeah, I guess I get what you're saying. I mean,
let me rephrase. You could, it just wouldn't be worth it.
I mean, I guess if it was
as our friend Nate FT says,
I guess if it would be a VR world, I mean, I guess the crime wouldn't really matter, I guess, because everything would be virtual and not.
Well, you're also then,
but it would be our real life
limits.
Though.
In Fortnite, I mean, like, let's say we're playing a Fortnite game and we're in the lobby. I can't shoot you in the lobby.
Right. But what I'm saying is like, if it's the full world, like going back to your example of like the entire world being in VR, right? And it's a better version of reality. My question is like, I'm trying to think of what would be a crime, but like, I'm thinking like in terms of like,
it would be just like a real game. Like, okay, you're walking in the real world. You don't want to get shot and have to respawn and have to come back to the spot that you're at. Okay. Turn off PvP mode.
Yeah.
Now if somebody shoots you, it doesn't do anything to you. Like it's a digital world. You can do, that's what I'm saying. It becomes better than the real world.
That makes sense. I mean,
you can't get shot in an alley unless you want to be shot in an alley. Right. Then you can, because you can turn on PvP mode and run around and shoot other people in PvP mode.
Right. And then you could just make everything that was ever owned by somebody else just unobtainable with a click of a button from another person. So they can't steal anything.
Oh, you want to lock, like if you're in PvP mode and somebody kills you, they can take your loot that you got on you. If you're carrying $100 in your wallet, then they're going to get $100. Yeah. You're probably not going to carry I mean, you have the rest of it in your bank.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I mean, I guess. I mean, I get that. I mean, I guess I've just watched too much fucking, like Sword Art Online.
Or I mean, like stuff. Now in VR, when you're in VR, you have what's called your personal bubble. So even like if I'm in a room in a lobby and someone brings their avatar up to a certain distance, I can set it. Their avatar just disappears. I don't want nobody within 5 feet of me in VR. Like I'm in this movie theater in VR. This exists. It's called big screen VR. I'm watching a movie. I see all these other people, their avatars sitting in the chairs around me, watching the same movie.
Wait. No. Let me rephrase this. Are they watching the same movie?
Yeah. We're all there watching the same movie.
Get the fuck out.
It's live.
No. I'm saying for real.
Yeah.
They're not sitting next to you watching their own movie in their own world. Like they're watching the same movie.
Yes.
Dude, that is
like a movie.
Awesome.
It starts at a certain time. You join. Like if you join late, you join late. But anyway,
that is so cool.
If somebody moves from over there and comes over here and I don't want to be bothered, my personal, like they get within 5 feet of me, their avatar disappears. They're gone. I can't hear them. I can't see them till they move outside my bubble. Then they reappear. Stay out of my bubble, bitches.
Cool.
If I want that 10 feet, I can make my bubble 10 feet. If I want,
what about on their end? Can they still see you? You just can't see them.
Well, it depends on how. Yes, unless they also have a bubble set up and they come
right. But I'm saying if they don't have a bubble, they can still see you. You just can't see them.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like you can cool. like that's what I'm saying. You can do almost anything that you want in the virtual world, but it's the real world too, because we made it like look just like the real world. And it's like I said, but you can also teleport anywhere instantly. You want to go see the pyramids? Boom, teleport. Like, yes, I get that it's not live as in the real world live, but when everybody's in VR and it's live in VR, just like the live movie theater in VR,
right?
No one's gonna give a fuck about the real world live anymore.
Right. No,
because everybody's in the VR live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're 100% right. Yeah, you're right. No, I get.
And I mean, I do agree. Like we got to get there. Yes. Like we can't feel like we feel in real world. We can't. Like the sex dolls and the sex toys have gotten very advanced,
but they're not
the same. You know, like I get that. But someday they will be not only the same, but better.
It's true.
Because you'll have sex with your wife and you all feel the same thing, but you'll last longer than 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Fuck, I'm like a 3-minute person. Jesus. That's like 2 minutes of extra stamina that I don't have. I'm already cramping up. My fists are fucking balling up. Like I'm 3 minutes is all I got.
You better start doing Beat Saber. Exercising every day with a Beat Saber, dude.
Fuck.
No, but you get my, like,
I get what you're saying though.
I don't think it becomes a like, oh, like we got to force people into VR to stay in. I think like people it becomes the better world. It does.
Right. Yep. Nope. I get you.
I don't know. That's my thoughts on it anyways. But I get what you're saying. It would be cool to like go somewhere and see like Mardi Gras live from my own home while it's happening live in New Orleans.
Yeah, but again, I think that's way minor. And that's that could be done probably now with the technology that we have.
It probably is, to be honest. Like there's probably some, like for example, YouTube has 360 live feeds right now.
Right. Well, all you would need is the VR integration to be able to view it on your VR.
That already exists. That's what I'm saying. You can already go on YouTube right now in my Oculus Quest, and I can load up a 360 video on YouTube, and I'm in the 360 video in VR. Like I can look around. Yep. I can, like, it's a 360 video in my VR.
Right. Yep. Which makes sense.
Whereas like on your computer, you're moving your mouse to make it move. You're just looking around. And so
right,
like,
yeah,
if there's
you are
360
the mouse.
live view of, happening of Mardi Gras, which there probably is on YouTube, that probably exists.
Oh, I'm sure
there's live feeds of Mardi Gras on YouTube when it's happening. That you can probably already do that. The only difference is probably going to be like, you can't move around.
Right.
You can look around. You can't.
Right.
But you're looking from wherever the camera is. You can't move around.
Correct. No, I get what you're saying.
So I would say that already exists. But
yeah, that's
cool. I don't know. It's definitely interesting though. I mean, I just think people don't realize, again, and I say this about a lot of tech, but I don't know, man. I think the next 20 years, tech in general, I think shit's about to get crazy. Like, I think we're on the cusp of craziness ensuing. Like all this stuff happening in society, I think is like just in general is happening because we're so close to this like total disrupt happening in society. Shit's gonna get crazy, man. I mean, self-driving cars, VR, cryptocurrencies, like the whole world kind of like becoming like one big country in a sense on the internet. Like it's gonna be crazy, man. I just like, and I think we're getting like Neuralink, things like Neuralink, all that coming out. Things like Boston Dynamics robots, like the Spot Dog and stuff. Have you seen any of those Boston Dynamic robots?
Yep.
Dude, like they already said, I mean, they say that within another, I think they said 5 years, they'll be able to make robots that run faster than we can see them running.
Oh yeah.
They would be running so fast that they're invisible to us.
Yeah, they're sonic. Yeah.
Like we would just wouldn't see them.
Oh yeah.
Like that's crazy, dude. Like
I've been saying it for years on like for fucking ever on soldiers. Like for wars and stuff. Like I've been saying it for years. It's like, why have we not made a fucking robot soldier? Why are we still to this day, in my opinion, why are we still to this day utilizing human people to go get shot? You mean, to do something? It's like when we have the technology now, where I've seen those dogs, I've seen them, or those robots, where you walk up and they just like kick them and they hit them both, and it auto corrects instantly in the moment. You mean, to keep on moving. You know what I mean? It's like we have the technology. Why have we not done this? Or even on top of that, why do we not have super soldiers? Like, why do we not have even a human still, like, there to make the ultimate decision? But why do we not have super suits?
Well, I think that stuff's
Where
coming.
those guys, where those guys, where we're
not,
where we're, where we're halfway. We got, cyborgs. I mean, we've got, humans where maybe it's like a Gundam style. They get into, like a fucking super suit, but like an Iron Man thing, but not Iron Man. But you know what I mean? They get into a suit and it's like just enhancing everything. You mean, because the suit is doing it, not the actual human. It's reading the human, the human's body movements, VR association.
Yeah, and then you got hydraulics and shit.
Exactly. Yeah, you got hydraulics, you got super speed, like a human could run 65 miles an hour, like in a suit.
Well, I don't know that we're gonna need suits to do all that pretty soon.
Right, which I mean, yeah, but do you get what I'm saying though? I'm saying, like, I've been saying this stuff for years,
and we're starting to see that, but I think it'll be more robotic than us getting in it. So, like, for example, you already have lots of these companies, like big machinery, like bulldozers and backhoes.
Oh yeah.
They're completely run remote. There's people sitting over, like, in a lot of these desert areas where they're like Nevada, laws where they're like, it's desert areas that they're turning into housing developments and stuff, because it's like the housing market's booming out west. A lot of those places. A lot of times these guys are sitting in an air conditioned room operating backhoes and bulldozers and stuff as like remotely. A video game, dude. Like remotely. Like why go out in that desert heat and everything when you could just do it from a room? You got to get up.
I'm with you.
Walk down the hall, pee, come back, continue where
we already
that's
have
all coming very quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We already have a robot. We already have a robot at my work that is welding.
Oh yeah.
And it welds faster. And more efficiently than humans. We have literally a giant fucking robot arm that we've had for 2 years now, and we've had several people being trained on it and writing code for it. But we literally have like 9 stations around this entire robot that it literally just goes through all 9 of them, and we have a person there to then walk over it and unclip and put the piece in, does that for like 1 second, stands there, hits a button, that fucking robot arm just like literally welds the entire fucking piece on all 9 stations faster, and it never makes a fucking mistake. It's 100% on point 24/7.
Unless something breaks, but then it's easily fixed.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, like, and when I worked at General Motors,
you have human error. But then you have human error where they fuck up one day. They have a shitty day. They're not welding worth a shit. We send out 100 parts. That they fucked up on, and then they're breaking. Causing us money. Like, dude, why would you not go with the fucking
and run 24/7?
Right,
24/7.
Exactly.
Yeah, when I worked at GM, when I started there, there was, like, in the body shop, there was probably 500 to 800 employees. At the end of it, the last couple of years before the one that I worked at in Lordstown shut down, when you would go over to the body shop, like you said, it was all robots, aisles of those robotic arms. Not only did they do all the work, they moved everything down conveyors. They picked it up. They let it go themselves. They moved it with, I don't know, suction cup magnets, however they did it. But they moved it, welded it, everything. There was maybe in the entire building 20 humans. And I'm talking, I mean, 1 million square foot building. Huge building, 20 people in the whole building. The rest of it run by robots.
Right.
Not only that, all of the parts being shipped around the lines and stuff, driven by robots on the floor. They were like the tuggers, but it was a robot pulling all the carts of stuff to places. And then a human would still unload them or whatever, but it was they drove from one spot to the next. Somebody loaded them, unloaded them. There was no driver driving the material.
Right. Anymore. So my question, So my question that I'd propose here before we hop out of the live stream or the thing, but like my question I'd propose would be, what happens to when that happens everywhere? Like, what then do humans resort to at that point? How do we develop? Okay.
Creativity. That's it. Making art, making music, doing creative stuff. I mean, I don't know actually if they'll always, because at some point we'll have robots that'll repair the robots that break. And then like if those ones break, there's just the other ones will fix them. Like they'll just be able to, we'll have humanoids that'll
Well, but
they'll
wouldn't we
fix
do the same
robots
thing
and fix
for
the
art
robots.
and creativity though?
I don't know that machines, at least not anytime soon. Believe it or not, that's the one, like you talk about super soldiers and stuff. That's the one thing really holding us back, is that's why I said right now remote control. AI is really, there's not really AI yet like we would think of artificial intelligence. There's code that makes robots and machines do stuff.
I get what you're
that's
saying.
Really
right.
There's
So
there
they
is
lack
no
the
machine
ability.
that can actually think for itself.
Correct. That's what I was going to say.
That can actually create something from nothing. That just doesn't exist yet, at least from my knowledge, from my understanding.
Right. If it does, it's in the CIA or something.
Yeah. But like we're nowhere near that level of, and I don't even know if that's something that can ever actually exist. I don't know.
Right.
Like, I know we like to romanticize that idea as well, and it's in movies like these self-thinking. I don't know. I don't know that can ever actually happen.
And I guess that makes sense. And that's the reason
maybe
why
it can, though. I don't know. And at that point, then we probably just get taken over by the robots and we're done. Become
right. But I think that's what I was going to kind of lead to that. I was going to say, I think that's what's always been kind of like what I've always read and heard at some point in time, right? Is this basically, it always boils down to, when I've asked that question, like, well, if we've got robots, that, like that, can walk and act and function like a human and shoot a gun. It's like, why haven't we, turned our police, people into those people? And their answer always comes down to, they lack the ability to make a decision. In that moment, meaning like they can't act on emotion, right? So like, so meaning like, like you said, they have to be programmed to do something. So so if a robot was to be in an instance that a human would be, to be there, let's say an officer, they wouldn't know or be able to feel the dynamic of this person and this person's intentions, and then make the better decision between the two, because they don't have that intellectual part like we do.
Right.
They're
with
coded
machine
to do
learning,
something, but that's
the
it.
machine could study a million videos, cam footage of police officers in a situation of like walking up to a car for a speeding ticket, and so it might know how to handle almost every situation, but there will always be that weird thing that it just doesn't know what to do. Again, and I don't know, maybe that, but even then, even if they can also create art, I don't think that takes away art from us. As the world now has more creative people, like there's more creative, I would say there's more creative people today than probably ever, except for maybe in the Renaissance era. But I mean, I would still say probably more today. But more people creating art doesn't take away from the other people's art, really.
No, I know that. I just was
so like if robots are creating art, cool. Like you're still gonna have Cody that's like gonna wake up and be like, well, I think I'm going to learn how to do woodworking for fun.
Right.
I just want to.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just meant like when you were saying creativity and making art and stuff, I was thinking, well, like, wouldn't at some point a person just program a robot to do their paintings for them? Well,
that already exists in the NFT. Like there's people write programs that there's like artwork made by a computer.
Right. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but it just,
but it's really made by a person that programmed the computer. At least in the way I see
it. Yeah. And you're right. So
I don't know.
You're right. So, I'm just meaning like even like painting. I'm saying like you could program the arm, to do the movements to make a painting, you know what I mean? So you could easily do that,
Sure.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, all the shit's
and it would be just you add in like, okay, here's all the different skin types. Here's all the different facial features people have. Moles, warts.
So you're saying it's all PFP's generative?
Honestly, yes, that would be what it would be.
Just
like,
to go
an extreme. Like they would have they would have like the full range of, and they would just be like, okay, I got to make a human riding a boat.
You're saying instead of making 10,000, I was gonna say instead of taking 10,000 items, they have bazillions and trillions of items, in a database that they can pull from to design something.
Exactly. But is any of it actually unique? I don't know that it comes up with anything actually unique. Now, do they create a person that doesn't exist in the world? Sure. But would you really say it's a unique person or a unique set of features that they put together? I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Is there value in some of that art? Sure. But again, I just don't think that negates the creativity of humans.
Yeah, you're right.
And again, if they ever get to the point where they have feelings and stuff, like I said, then I just think we're screwed anyways. Like, unless we can ourselves become machines, then we're screwed, because we're just they're better than us in every way at that point. in every way.
I think at some point, I think we do. I think at
I
some
do too.
point,
I think at some
bionic. Point, right. I think at some point, I don't think that we ever, as humanity, I don't think we would ever allow another species. I mean, I know robots not species, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think we would ever allow that to take us over.
I don't think we would allow it, but it could happen if they advance faster than we can keep up.
Which could be. Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, like, I definitely think that before that happens, I think we would merge. I think we would slowly start because to slowly.
I also don't think people realize, like, because Elon Musk is actually a big proponent of this. So if we were to, let's say tomorrow, somebody was to crack the code and they figured out singularity, the moment that happens, if we're not already prepared for it, we're done. We're done. If the robots decide at that point we're done, we're done. Like, we already lost if we hit singularity point, meaning like full cognitive thought. Like if they hit that and we're not already ready for it, we're screwed. We already lost. We have to be ready for it before that happens. The problem is that could happen anytime. We're kind of at that point where it could happen at any time.
And probably unlikely. But what you're saying is development, meaning somebody's developing this.
Correct. And whether it's
because they can't develop themselves. So I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be developed, but you're saying it could be developed at any moment. Somebody cracks that code and then we're
working on that. I mean, there are scientists, humans already out there trying to create artificial intelligence that's already actively being pursued. So when somebody actually cracks it and actually makes real artificial intelligence, if we're not already got the tools for ourselves to go to that same level, if they decide to wipe us out, like we're wiped out.
But we don't. That's the problem.
What do you mean? I know. That's why Elon Musk is really big, that we need to slow down on AI research and stuff. And that's also why he's developing Neuralink, to try to give it, because he wants us to be able to process things faster and do things. And Neuralink is going to be an interface to allow us to interface with machines. Basically.
Right. Yeah. No,
that's why he's creating all this. I mean, he's actually he talks all the time that humans don't realize where we're at right now in terms of evolution with machines and stuff. Like, he is very much like, he loves technology, all for technology. He's very much, we should stop AI right now until we already figure out what the hell to do.
Yeah, but what's wild is, to me, is that that's not the picture that everybody paints him to be in society.
What do you mean?
Like people, like people. There's so many people in the world that paint him. Yeah, well, they think he's joking, he's crazy, or they think a lot of people paint him as he's the front runner of AI. Like they think, oh, he's just developing all this cool, you know what I mean, all this shit. You mean, he wants us to do this and do that. It's like, yeah, but the guy is actually very knowledgeable in the shit that he's, you know what I mean, talking about, and how he's trying to actively save humanity in a sense. You know what I mean, for destroying it. But I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be cool as shit. I mean, I think it'd be cool as shit to integrate into stuff like that. It'd be awesome as hell to have, like,
to be able to run 70 miles per hour, to be able to lift 500 pounds, just
yeah. But see, my question is, though, is like, at some point that's got to be used for mischievous. Like, you would imagine that, like, somebody would develop something, right? Like, I mean, straight out of a comic book, where something would develop, fucking super strong arm, you know what I mean? Kind of like, V, or Vi, from fucking League of Legends, right? Like, you would imagine something like that, and then all of a sudden, they're punching holes through people in the bank, and taking fucking money and stuff.
And that'll happen until everybody else has it too, just like nuclear bombs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We use nuclear bombs. We bombed Japan. We bombed, but then now everybody has nuclear bombs. Nobody's nuclear bombing anybody. Because, like, we're all like, okay, this will kill us all. Like, we can't. So I like,
guy walks into the bank after doing this 10 times or whatever. Everybody's got fucking, arms. He walks up to the bank. He goes to punch him, and the guy's arms made out of, like, fucking polarium, and he's just fucking boom right back in his face, dead. And he's like, yeah, dude, get the fuck
out. And, like,
out
they
of
kill
here.
each other from the shockwave that the two are like. And so, like, people are like, all right, let's not do that no more. Let's not fight with these things anymore, because we're gonna kill both of ourselves. Same thing with, like, nuclear bombs. Let's not use these nuclear bombs, even though we all still threaten with them. Nobody's really using them, because if we do, we're all fucking dead. Like, that's kind of like, so yeah, like, in the beginning, if somebody makes it like a bad person, a bad character,
it's never used for good. Don't even try to do that. It's never used for good.
And then
it's never used for good. You've ever watched any comic book movies? Because they're never used for good. The guy who invents it is typically intentionally good. It's always the brother, the friend,
the money
cousin,
that's allowing the research.
Yeah, exactly.
That wants to use it for something else.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's normally the problem. So I could easily see that being with anything. That's why when what was it? In-home security camera, things came out. What was the first fucking thing that hit the news? Somebody hacked into somebody's fucking security cameras. Because again, there's always that fucking, side of things. The same, it would happen with any technology.
Yeah. So. And so I think that's the answer to that, is just that, it'd have to, or we'll kill ourselves. I mean, that's an option. We do, at some point, there is the option that everybody does release the nuclear bombs. North Korea finally decides to actually launch one of those motherfuckers. We launch one back in retaliation. They launch another. We launch another. They launch one at United. Like, everybody starts launching.
Well, one doesn't fucking make it. Hits another country. Another fucking country goes off.
Like that. Yeah. I mean, and we destroy ourselves, or we create the AI that is smart enough, and we kill ourselves. Like, that's. But so far, our track record's pretty good. We're still alive.
But listen. At the end of the day, if that happens with the nuclear war, we just jump into the nuclear bunker. And we have our nuclear nerds. We have our wasteland nuclear nerds. Like, I don't understand. Like, listen, I'm prepared. I'm prepared, bro. I've already got my nuclear nerd, dude. I go right into my nuclear nerd.
NFTs are useless. Exactly. And I can right click save it. Get out my bunker, bitch.
You know what's funny though is there'd only be 10,000 of us.
You know what'd be funny? You know what would be really funny? You know what nuclear nerds should do? They should build a doomsday bunker that, in order to be able to access it, if anything ever happens, you have to be holding a nuclear nerd.
Dude, fucking get in the Discord right now.
Isn't that actually
that would be sick?
Like, is it practical? No. Would that be like really good PR and make a really good story?
Oh, hell yeah, it would. Hell yeah, it would. Hell yeah, it would. Dude, that would fucking moon the project instantly, because people would instantly. People would instantly
think how many people stock up already on food for a doomsday thing right now that fucking spend all that money on that shit. There's they got a whole TV series around doomsday preppers.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. That would fucking soar that project instantly. And not only that, it would sell the entire narrative. They're writing stories. You know what I mean? Like, that would sell the entire narrative. And then at the end of the day, it would be fucking hilarious. Like, if something ever was to happen, you know what I mean? It would always be the talk. Like, people would be like, oh man, I got a fucking nuclear nerd. I'm part of one of the 10,000, you know what I mean? Or however many projects they come out with. Because I could see them, you know what I mean, coming out with something else, that would be inclusive, you know what I mean? To keep the revenue stream going.
I'm actually typing it. No, I'm typing it in the Discord right now.
Dude, do it, dude. I'm telling you right now, that's a fucking brilliant idea. A brilliant idea. That would literally, I mean, people would think it's so absurd and so crazy, but it would sell the entire narrative. Isn't it funny how that's how we came full circle back to NFTs? Isn't that wild?
Back to NFTs. Apparently, we're not done with NFTs.
Fucking yet. NFTs, dude.
They keep pulling us back in, man.
Dude, listen.
All right, let's wrap it up, I think. Right? Are we heading to wrapping it up?
Oh yeah. We're wrapping it up. Yep.
All right. Yeah. Since we did make the full circle.
Yep. No worries. As always, guys, if you haven't done so already, you can find us on all of the podcast social platforms, basically. I mean, anywhere you find podcasts, you will find OMG It's Derek Podcast.
Yeah. Google, Spotify, Apple, wherever.
Yep, exactly. Yep, everywhere. And not only that, guys, both of us have websites. Mine personally is going to be codations.com. You can find me over there. I'm also on all of the social media platforms. Typically, the three that I use, though, is my private Discord that I've got that you can join. I've also got a Twitter account. And then last but not least, I do have a Twitch and YouTube channel that I do stream on. So if you guys want to follow me over there, you can check that out. And then with that being said, Derek, what do you got?
Same as Codations, as he said, I got a website, omgitsderek.com. Has links to all my socials, my YouTube, my Twitch page, my Twitter, all the platforms I use. So you can just, hit one of those links, follow me on, actually just click them all, hit the follow button on every single one of those motherfuckers. If you're going to be a supporter, be a motherfucking supporter, or else get the fuck out. No.
I agree. Yep.
But for real, thank you guys for listening. We really do appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I thought it was really fun. I had a fun time. I thought we got into some cool topics and stuff. I thought it was a good one. So I'm excited. This will be the first podcast being edited by my wonderful editor, Mark. So I'm excited to see how that turns out and what kind of clips and stuff we get from it. Also, if you guys are watching this and you see it and you've seen some of our past ones or listened to some of our past ones, let us know how you think this edit works out with the new editor and stuff. And if you like it and if you like how it turns out and stuff, we would appreciate that. Find us, hit us up, leave a comment, leave a review, do something to show us that you're listening to this damn thing. Love your faces. See you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.
Later. Let's go.